One second.
Yeah, when you were streaming earlier, some people in the chat said they couldn't hear me, but that was weird.
All right, well, I think I fucking got it. So anyway, Kamikaze Soundwaves, and I'm joined by Jrpg Gaming. I was streaming. He hit me up in the middle of it, and I thought it'd be much more fun to talk to this guy than play Mario Kart 8 for like the millionth time of my life. So anyway, nah, man, we are at it. Let's do it up, man. Once again, and JRPG, what's going on, brother?
Oh yeah, doing good, and yeah, I enjoyed the video that the Retro Bro uploaded the other day about your little squeaky chair.
It was good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've actually like thought about like doing a rebuttal video back to it. I actually thought about it all day, and like it's gonna involve my green screen and shit. I was thinking really creative with it, like to like try to one up him a little bit. But yeah, no, yeah, he got me with that shit. He got me.
But yeah, the podcast, yeah, it was fun the other day, and yeah, if he doesn't want to do anything this Friday, because I know he said he's going to be busy doing something. If we want to take his place, we're all by means we'll entertain these guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, man. Like I said, like I mean, I started this stuff. You know, uh, actually started it with him, and then done it with you, and like it to me, it's just therapy, man. It's great stuff, man. I really highly enjoy doing it. I don't get to do this in my day to day. I don't really get to talk to a lot of people about video games and et cetera, et cetera. It's just great, man. Like you're like one of the coolest people I think I've met in a long, long time, man. And I love to talk
Oh,
about
I
just random
appreciate
shit.
that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. No, but I mean, for our conversations, man, like I thoroughly enjoy them. They're just a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm watching like mad for any news regarding pre-orders on the SNES Mini, and so far nothing. And someone replied to me on I was trying to talk to you while you were streaming Mario Kart 8. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. He's called a Super Game Addict. If not, I'll send you a link to his channel. And I had forgotten that I posted this because at the time when the whole Walmart pre-order glitch was going on, remember my mom was still in the hospital and had print like the whole thing. Oh, I thought I secured a pre-order, wee and all that happy shit and so forth. And I just replied to this random YouTuber. I said, "Yeah, I posted that comment before Walmart had their screw up." And another buddy of mine, Moscato Bot, he somehow received a survey from Walmart. The video's hilarious. I'll have to send it to you later. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I've let Walmart know that I'm like pissed off, and I imagine many people are too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, we've been down this road and back, and we've already made a couple of 3-point turns on it and U turns, and
And
fuck it, man.
U-turns and everything else.
Yeah, I'm done with it, man. But I do have something. Biophoenix is in the chat, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was playing Mario Kart 8, bro. I was playing it. JRPG hit me up, and I was trying to add his Skype call and to be playing Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo Switch. What I'm about to get to, because I've got a hefty rant on it, man. I know I had a rant on it before, but now actually using it in depth like I did today, oh, I'm pissed off with it. But anyway, he tried to hit me up on Skype, and I wanted to add him into my stream, and I couldn't do it. I was like, fuck it, I'll just crash the stream. I'd rather just talk to JRPG than play Mario Kart. So, all right. So, if I may, I'd like to get into my rant about the fucking Switch. Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
this fucking thing. Are you watching the stream right now?
Uh, oh yeah, I am.
You see this fucking thing? Do you see what I'm holding up? You see this shit?
Oh, oh, you holding up the tablet, or you doing the middle? Oh, yeah, the Joy-Con grip thing. Yeah.
Fuck this thing. in the asshole with no lube. Fuck this thing, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to watch a YouTube video in order to learn how to program it to my fucking Switch. Okay? I had to learn how to program these, even though they've already been synced, and I've synced them and synced them. I had to literally desync them and then snap them to the console in order for them to sync. But in the middle of that, somehow power it off the console, because they did nothing but desync, 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 desync. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my console? I started thinking, clearly I have some kind of fuck up console. Something I need to just take it back to the store, cut my losses, wait another month, and get a right one.
Yeah.
And it was really disappointing because my kids, they spent the weekend with grandpa, so I had the weekend to myself, and I was off on a Saturday, which is really weird. So I bought a second dock. I have 2 docks. I have one in my living room for the kids, and I have one in my office for me. That, it's pretty convenient, to pick it up and bring it around.
Yeah, just bring it. Yeah.
So I brought it at my office. I had the same problem, and I don't know what happened, but it automatically, and it kept desyncing, and automatically it just synced up, and I was like, okay, cool, it's working now. My kids came home from grandpa's, and I eventually got this game right here, which they were dying to play, which is Splatoon 2. And Down Phoenix was 100% right. I kind of argued with him a little bit because I was misled. So yeah, and it like it says right here on the box, it's one player for everything. For everything. But that's not how the original Splatoons was. You could still play, 2-player versus.
Yeah. So
that was misleading.
Yeah.
So I brought it. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't mean to cut you off. Well, the first thing to talk about your Joy-Con issue, from what I've heard, especially at launch, I think the desyncing issue, especially I've heard it's mostly the right one that's like
the left one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the left one. It's mostly the color ones, because I have the plain one, and it like desynced and like all that just fine. And also, I don't recommend the what is it? Black Metal Gamer telling me about the shoot, I can't think of it.
The Hori.
Yeah, Hori. Yeah. I was having Hori parts. Sorry.
No, I'm thinking about getting one of those now.
Yeah, I think it's like 20.
It's 30. It's 30. It's 30.
30. Yeah. I don't know how long the cord is, but yeah. And trying to think of the other thing. Shoot. As the Joy-Cons and the other point you were talking about, I forgot that I was going to talk about.
It's all good. No, but I was really pissed off because, I brought it in my office, and I was like, I got a big one, another big one, another one. No, Tyler Stevenson, dude, you are right on time, brother. You are right on time, because I'm about to fucking like pull out all the tools out of the fucking tool belt, and I'm about to disassemble this Switch right fucking now, man. All right, this is the biggest fucking gripes I have with it. Okay, now I've already discussed the shit about the no lack of Netflix and et cetera. That is even just minuscule to the points I'm about to get on this fucking console, okay? All right, number one is the desyncing of the Joy-Cons. All right, now, and I've heard that you shouldn't put it around a lot of wires and TVs because the signal can get messed up. What other console is okay with doing this, okay? So you tell me if PS4 put out and they're like, hey, put your PS4 away from your TV, and, because maybe your controller's not syncing with it. And you think Sony is just like, that's cool? Like, that's okay? Like, no problem? Like, no big deal? What the There's no way in shape or fashion that other consoles can get away with their fucking console next to a TV and that being a problem with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, All right, so maybe that wasn't my case. I did the thing the guy said on the YouTube thing about desyncing all of your controllers, snapping them to the console, immediately desnapping them, turning it off, turning it back on, and then syncing them. And that did fix the issue. But why the fuck do I have to do all that? That's too much. And if it wasn't for YouTube, who would have figured that out?
No, yeah, it's amazing how much we use YouTube for how-to videos
Oh,
nowadays.
God, yes. You use YouTube like how to take a shit. I swear to God, I've never done it, and I'm actually about to do it. I'm about to go on YouTube right now and just search how to take a shit. And I guarantee there's a fucking video on this. Watch this shit. YouTube.fucking.com. All right, here we go. I look, and if the FBI is watching, like, you know, and they're like, who the fuck is Googling how to take a shit? It's me. How to take a shit. Yep, fair enough. There is a fucking video how to take a shit. There is a tutorial on how to take a shit on YouTube.com. So there is officially a fucking tutorial about everything. I've given up on life. I'm done.
Oh boy.
All right,
Man,
so go ahead.
Say if you need help on how to poo, you need something's wrong with your life.
It's fucking crazy, man. This is fucking absurd. All right, so here's another big thing that I have with the Switch, okay? And this is one of my biggest gripes. And this is only, I guess, probably, to me. And if I was about to say triggered, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm like a SJW. This is the big one, okay? PS4, Xbox One. It took Xbox One to understand, to have that headphone jack on your controller, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Like to have the audio in your headphones.
Yeah.
And I think as well as all of us know, because we're all doing YouTube and we know, like, the ins and outs about audio, visual, and et cetera, et cetera. You cannot put a headphone jack into something that is being supplied power because you get that buzz noise.
Yeah.
So I cannot use headphones streaming my Switch because I get the buzz noise. So did you ever think about something like that? Because I don't know if Nintendo thought about it or anybody thought about it. And I've seen people. Simon says there's a video on how to accurately pee. I swear to.
I think one day I'm just gonna go on YouTube and just look up silly shit.
I do that all the time, man. I've been stacking my ammo, man. I was thinking about making this. I'll save that actually. I'll save that one. Biophoenix says that he finished Yakuza 0 yesterday. Great stuff, especially if you like Shenmue. So is Yakuza like, is that really like a Shenmue type game? I've never played any of them, and I've seen that I actually really need to.
I think from what I've seen, I think it's pretty close.
So the only way to actually stream a Switch, right? The only way to stream a Switch with using your headphones is you have to buy an HDMI to HDMI with an audio extractor. So,
oh boy,
and
that sounds complicated.
It's actually not. I mean, I have a few of these things. I've been learning this shit as I go. It's actually pretty simple, but still. Do you have to go out, or I can order, not go out. I'll be a lazy piece of shit like I am and order it off of eBay to buy another piece of something that I have to fucking power. And it takes power, no mind you. It has to have its own fucking power supply. And the cheapest one that I've seen that is actually like a legitimate fucking piece. Like I've seen like $10 ones and they get like the fucking total negative review on it. It's $20. That's about the going price for it. It's $20. So it's basically you take the HDMI from your Switch, you take the HDMI to this adapter, and from that adapter, you take that HDMI to your Elgato. which is what I use. And then you take another HDMI into your TV, but you can plug your headphones into this HDMI extractor because you won't get that buzz feed from it. You can just plug your headphones into the actual HDMI audio extractor because it extracts the audio from it where you don't get that buzz from the power feed. And it's not a big deal. I mean, it's very trivial. I get it, but I got Splatoon 2 yesterday. It came in the mail. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to play this shit, man. I'm going to stream it. And then realizing I couldn't use my headphones, realizing I needed another piece of stuff. I literally was like, fuck streaming, fuck YouTube, fuck Nintendo Switch. I was like, this is just too much. Why in the world do they not think people would not be streaming this console? And to have that oversight on it, to know that you can't use your headphones in the dock mode, like that's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like I was saying.
Cybernetic Slayer, you're so right. I literally dropped everything I was doing. I'm still like, actually, you know what? I actually finished all 4 races. I didn't even cut you off, but fuck this shit. Look, we need to view results. We need to see who's the king. All right, here we go. You can see my screen, right? I fucking just finished. That's my favorite 4 matches or raceways, by the way. Is Dragon Way. Dragon Raceway is my favorite one. Yeah, boy, gold. Congratulations. Let's go.
It was like I was saying in Retrobo's podcast the other day. Nintendo's always having to play catch up when it comes to anything, basically. And also, I think didn't the original Wii not have Netflix at launch either? I think it took a while for that to come as well to the original Wii.
You're talking about like the Wii, like the original, like Wii Bowling, Wii Sports Wii, right?
Yeah, the original Wii, yeah.
But the thing is, like Netflix wasn't a big deal back then, like it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Netflix isn't a big deal. I think in anybody's part of life, right? I think it's something that it's just there. We get it, we accept it, but we accept anything that comes into our life. And like, listen, I like Netflix. I don't even watch Netflix that much. The whole point that I was getting to is I really didn't give a fuck if Netflix was on that console. If Netflix wasn't on it, it's not a big deal. It's the principle behind it. It's like, what in the fuck kind of logic and sense does it make to not have something so trivial on a piece of technology? And I think RetroPro said it really, really good. And I didn't even acknowledge him when he said it, but like I went back and I watched the podcast in full, and he makes a good point as being a parent. When I bought, or if I buy something like that, like, it's in the room for the kids and for them to be able to switch from Netflix to playing games and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, it's being a parent. Look, I love my kids, but there's this time where I'm like, I gotta be alone. I gotta be away.
Yeah,
for
you
5
gotta
minutes.
have that me time. I've been there.
Yeah, so, and it's like, to not have that, like, what he was saying, like, oh, now I gotta switch it back over to my Wii U in my living room so they can watch Netflix. And my older kids know how to do all that stuff. That's not a big deal, but like, they're all going back to school. And my youngest son, he didn't get accepted into pre-K, which is not a bad thing, because apparently when you go into pre-K, they take the kids who actually need help. So he's actually very, very smart. I know everybody who thinks they have kids, like their parents or their kids are very, very smart, but my son is actually very intelligent, man. He can count to 100, and he's only 4. It's very impressive. He gets it all from his mama, because I'm a complete retard. For real. And so anyway, what I'm getting to is like, he doesn't know how to like switch things in and out. Maybe he's not as smart as I gave him credit for, So if he needs to switch from the Wii U to the Switch, he's like, I want to play Splatoon 2, but now I'm ready to watch Power Rangers, because he got into Power Rangers. Like, now I have to literally get up, go into the living room, switch the input on it to go from one HDMI to the other, because I don't think he's figured that part out. And like, that's what I'm getting at, and I think that's what he was getting at. Like, that's Nintendo is marketed towards kids. I don't care who wants to argue it or doesn't want to argue it. It really is. I think every game console is marketed toward kids, is marketed toward teens, is marketed toward adults, because, you're going to market it to every fan base that you possibly can. But Nintendo specifically, I feel, targets younger children.
Yeah. And like I said, they always do that. And you got to remember, we were kids once too. But of course, like, I think the Switch was targeted towards everybody. I don't know if you remember that. Did you watch that 3.5 minute teaser when Nintendo showed off the Switch for the first time last year? Did you see that?
What, like an E3 or something?
Oh no, it was like a 3 minute like teaser just showing off what the Switch was for the first time.
Oh, yes, I did. I actually made a whole video on that shit. I made a video on it, and I was like, I'm really impressed. It's just really cool. I see the implications, and et cetera, et cetera. And still, I mean, I left it with a question mark like, Nintendo's pretty fucking stupid when it comes to doing stuff. So, uh, do with it what you may will. But I think it's a really cool concept, but I don't 100% trust them.
Yeah. I mean, I get the like you said the concept behind it because tablets and all that are kind of popular with kids these days. Imagine Nintendo doing some kind of like I know they're getting into like phone games. But imagine if their newest console, assuming they have one after this, let's assume their newest console would look like a cell phone. Would you buy that?
Nintendo
Yeah.
make a cell phone? Hell no, that's just gonna have terrible reception. It won't have Netflix on it, so fuck it. Hell no. If Nintendo made a cell phone, man, I'm cool with the. Have you played Mario Run yet?
I've seen it, but we don't have a cell phone one. But I saw a video of a buddy of mine. He made a video about it, and I've seen other like videos about it. It looks cool for what it is.
Somebody else later says nostalgia buffs from our generations are the ones who still play Nintendo more than anyone. He was talking to Bio,
Yeah.
but I do think that's very accurate.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the thing is, like, the thing with, like, my thing with, he said it's insane how many 20, 30-year-olds still gravitate towards Nintendo. And I do that too, man. I did that too. But the thing is, like, for me, like, I know Nintendo is a safe route with my kids. And look, I grew up watching the most goriest, scariest, blow your fucking mind shit now in my 30s. And I don't want them to go through that because I think that it's just made me a very different person that I wish that and I'm not saying I appreciate who I am. I like who I am. But if I could rewind time and like not go back and watch very trippy and crazy shit, I try to have the mentality like I didn't have. For example, like I think I already said in our last podcast, was I grew up and I was the only person who played video games in my house, and it grew me separate from everyone in my house because I always wanted to play Mario and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though how terrible it was. I was in my room and playing, and I wasn't connected with people, my family, my sisters and my brothers, and that's what I try to do now. As I try to do that with my kids now. Like, for example, that's why they only have the Wii U and they only have the Switch, because I know these games connect them and they can play together and they can, they're just together. And I love that feeling to see them all playing it. Like, even today, I even let my son, like my oldest son, like play Overwatch from time to time. And I'll scrutinize the hell out of him when he's playing it. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. You need to do this. And I'll coach him on it. I'll coach him on it a little bit. But he's the oldest one, so I kind of give him more of the more exclusive games that I have, let him play and try to teach him stuff and etc. But no, but like for my as a whole, I don't like them to have consoles in their rooms because I just feel like it drives you apart as a I've been there, and that's what I'm getting at is I want them to play together and be connected.
Yeah, because I used to do that a lot during my teens to early adulthood. Would just sit in my room and just be, like you said, just isolated in your own little room. And yeah, I do dislike parents who do that to some of their kids because they want to be together. I mean, I get when you get older, you want to be like your own person, but you need to come outside of your shell and socialize with other people.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that was a big part, for me, it took me years, even when I got older, to learn how to talk in front of people, which you know, I've gotten in a position where I'm at in my life where I have a pretty decent job where I have to talk in front of people, and it's very natural to me now to talk in front of a group of people. It doesn't bother me, you know. But the thing is, like, you know, before then, I think video games kind of like made me have that element of just very, you know, I don't know, and I don't want to criticize video games like that, but I do think like that's where I'm trying to get them is to not be so just, you know, like what's the name for it? Like and not an extrovert, but an introvert. Like, you know, I want them to have that beauty of both of it. Like introverts are very clever, they're funny and witty. Extroverts are very popular and they talk a lot. I want them just to be like a mixture of both. And that's why I always think, you know, like encourage them to play with other kids and do other things. And I think that they've actually done really well with both sides of the coin. It's pretty random, I know, but
Yeah. And oh, you said you wanted to talk about the latest Dragon Ball Super episode. You said.
oh yes, I did. Oh man, I really want to talk about it. All right, so okay, I'm gonna spoil it rotten, man, and I don't want to do this to you, but
Oh, it's fine.
I gotta spoil the new DB Super fucking episode. It was hands down one of the coolest fucking things that I have seen in a long time. Okay. All right. So last episode was pretty dope. Actually, every episode's been pretty dope. I'm not gonna front. Every episode's been really, really dope. But this one, okay. Oh, man. I gotta take a sip of my bourbon for this one. This is good, man. So fucking Universe 2 has these 3 chicks in it, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess everything's going on, and, you know, Krillin got kicked out. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that. I fucked it up for you. I'm sorry, bro. I fucked it up. Fuck. Okay.
Oh, it's
no
fine.
more spoilers. No more
talk
spoilers.
about that.
No more spoilers. I'm going to try to do a spoiler as less as I can. So these 3 chicks, they're like, it's time. It's time for us to transform. Too much shit's going on. Us 3 chicks, let's go ahead and power up. Let's do our thing, right? So they power up, and guess what? They're three little cute anime chicks. And they all have transformations like Sailor Moon. Hearts and stars and rainbows and, you know, fucking, you know, horseshoes and blue clovers and shit. And they all turn into like more uglier chicks when they're done. They're not turning into like cuter chicks with like the little short mini skirt or nothing like that. They're turning into like not cute chicks. One of them turns into like this big fat butterball thing. And while they're in the middle of it, because you know Sailor Moon, I never watched Sailor Moon. I'm not saying like, look, I'm being real. Yeah. I never watched Sailor Moon, but my stepsister did when I had a stepsister. She used to watch it, and they have these like long ass transformations in Sailor Moon, right? Yeah. And so it's taken forever. Out of nowhere, you hear blows shit up. It was Android 17. And then fucking Goku's like, "What are you doing? They're trying to transform." He's like, "Well, this is the perfect time to do it. Like they're transforming. I'm taking them off guard. Like, you know, he thinks of shit like logistically. He's like, dude, like, fuck them. Like, we're trying to win, right?" And Goku's like, "No, they're trying to transform. They're trying to be," because you know Goku likes a challenge, right?
Yeah.
And so Android 17 is like, you know, fuck this shit. Like, I'm trying to win. And Goku like gives him this prep talk, like, man, they're really trying to transform. And even like the one of the other from the other universes is like, no, this is unacceptable. When someone's transforming, you let them transform because that's what's important. Android 17 like gives this look on his face, like throws his hand up, like, you guys are fucking crazy. Just walks away. It was so fucking cool. Like he's like he literally was like thinking logistically, like I would like, oh, they're transforming, this is my perfect time to attack. And everybody's like giving him scrutiny for doing it. He's like, you guys are fucking retarded. He just walks away. And so they literally start the transformation all over again from the top to be funny. And anyway, going forward, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they end up transforming. And Android 17, I'm not going to try to spoil any more, but this was Android 17's episode. He was so fucking cool. He was getting his ass whooped a little bit, and then it just transformed into him like, you know what? I was holding back. I was trying to be nice, but man, let's fucking go in. And he just starts tearing ass. It was so fucking cool, man. It was a really, really good fucking episode. Even Android 18 like walked up to him. She's like, "Hey, you need help?" He's like, and he's like laying on the floor, like she like did like this huge blast, like knocked him down, and he's just laying there like staring at the sky, like it doesn't faze him because it's an android, you know, he never loses power, right? And Android 18 walks up to him, and she's like, "Hey, you good? Like you need help?" He's just staring. He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I was just kind of holding back. I got a little bit distracted, but now I'm gonna get a little bit serious." He like just jumps up and like does his shit. It was super fucking cool, man. It was super dope episode.
Yeah, I wonder how long Super is gonna be. I think Japan's. I think currently is what is episode. I think 90 something.
Yeah, no, we're over 100 at this point.
Yeah, I think we're here. Let me pull. Grab a remote.
Well, the Japanese version is definitely over. We're definitely like we're in 100 and I think that's 103rd, 104th episode at this point. I think.
Yeah, let me see. I think we're.
But no, man, it's fucking man. Look, man, Jrpg. Look, man, I'm behind you, brother. I really am. I like to watch the American version too, but man,
Yeah.
if you really change your mind, bro, man, play catch up and watch the Japanese shit. It's so fucking good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, I'd have to watch like. Let's see. Trying to think. Yeah, I think we're. Yeah, I keep forgetting they do.
Biophoenix and Cybernetic Slayer are both talking about One Piece. Now, I've never watched One Piece. Should I?
I could not get into One Piece. I started watching Fairy Tail a little bit, but Funimation on Demand took that away. But yeah, let's see if I'm doing my math right. Let's see. Yeah, we're currently at episode. Yeah, episode. Episode. Yeah, 28 just aired last week. So yeah, we're at 28 episodes. So yeah, y'all way ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we just got into starting the tournament. Beerus and Chamba just had like their little spat, and he's like, "I want to have a tournament." He's like, "I want to swap, Earths and shit." And it's like, "Have a tournament." Goku was like, "Yeah, I want that."
Oh man, yeah. It's like so the tournament hasn't even started yet.
No, it hasn't.
Oh man, dude, and you're in for a wild ride with that shit. That's a good fucking tournament. That's really, really fucking good. I don't want to spoil anything. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to fucking spoil it either.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, and the Dragon Ball Z Kai, we're just at Vegeta just blew himself up to destroy Boo, but of course this is just a redub.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you can see it, if you have the stream. Like, I put up a new Dragon Ball Z poster up there. Almost fucking killed myself doing it because I had to like get on this bar stool. And
the Resurrection F.
Yeah, I had this one already, but like this was like a new one, and I walked around. I was like, "Fuck it, I gotta add it." And I had this like a Overwatch poster too. Like I had to have Overwatch poster.
But yeah, the good thing about Dragon Ball Super Resurrection F, it's different enough from the movie, like I said in the last podcast, to make you want to watch it. That's what's good about Super, and of course they had to make it different, otherwise it would have been boring.
Yeah, Resurrection F. I said it was good. I think like I said, I never said I watched the whole thing as a whole, but I've watched the whole movie, but I've just watched it in different pieces.
Yeah. Well, it's good enough. You should watch both the Dragon Ball Super and the movie because they're both different from each other.
Yeah. But there is that scene, okay? And I'll say it. There's that scene where Beerus slaps Bulma and Vegeta gets so fucking mad.
Yeah. He's like, "What did you do to my Bulma?"
Oh, man, that was fucking epic as fuck. And even Master Roshi's like, Bulma getting slapped by Beerus is even made her stronger than Goku. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's so fuck. Because Vegeta's my favorite character, so I'm like, whatever, man. That was fucking cool. That was cool as shit. I probably rewatched that scene like probably 30 times.
Yeah, of course he couldn't beat Beerus, but he made him use 10% of his power, I think it said.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Like, so I've heard. All right, so can I tell you? I won't tell you, but I've heard theories. Okay, and these are just theories, so maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. So at the end of the day, I guess it really doesn't matter because they could be wrong. But I've heard, okay, that going into this new tournament, right, that Goku has found a new form, and that's why he's been so cocky this entire tournament. Even though that his life is at stake, his friend's life are at stake. His family's life is at stake, and that's why he's being really cocky, because he has a new form, but he hasn't told anybody about it. So, could be wrong, but he has this new form, and he's just waiting to unleash it. And from what I read, he's going to unleash it in the next 3 episodes where he actually has no point to, where he goes up against Jiren. And could be wrong. But, like I said, it's just fan theory. And if that is true, it seems really fucking cool if it is.
Well, from what I've read on the little Dragon Ball wiki, and I've tried not to read too much as far as like spoilers. My guess it would be he knows how to do Kaioken in his Super Saiyan God form. That would be my guess.
Well, once again... Okay, man. God, you need to watch it, man. You need to watch it so we can talk about it.
I know.
He's kind of already. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it rotten for you, man. Hate me if you want to, but he's already kind of done that.
Oh, he already has. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, man. I had to tell you. I had to say it. No, he has kind of already done that, and but it's cool. It's whatever, man. It's actually not like you kind of like see it coming, so I don't think it's that big of like a shock or anything like that.
Yeah, which makes me wish we would have gotten Dragon Ball Super like mid maybe last year, we would be about caught up with the Japanese. But nah, we had the English dub didn't start till 2017.
Yeah. No, I remember I walked into a GameStop one time and I had my Dragon Ball Z shirt. Not this one. I have another one that has like Goku on one side and one Vegeta on the other. And I walked into a GameStop, and you know how GameStop employees are. They like try to be your friends so they can make a sale and shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And I walked in there, he was like, "Oh man, you like Dragon Ball Z?" And I'm like, if you don't know me, like I'm very like fuck you, like I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I like Dragon Ball Z, like move. So I'm trying to see what you guys have on sale. Did you misprice anything so I can buy it? He's like, "Oh, who's your favorite?" And I'm like, well, fucking Vegeta, dude. Like, that's my favorite. He's like, "Man, he's like straight power, man. He's this and that." And I'm like, dude, please leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm like, and I didn't tell him that, but I think my exact words were like, "Yeah, Vegeta's cool, dude, but like, I'm not really, really want to talk that much. I'm just here browsing." Like, my family was with me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, like, I'm just, trying to see what you guys have on sale." He's like, "Nah, man, that's cool, man." He's like, "Are you watching the Japanese version?" And that was at the time, like, I wasn't watching it. I was like, "Nah, man, I'm trying to wait for it, the American version." He's like, "Man, that's going to take forever, man. You need to watch the Japanese shit." And I'm like, dude, seriously, leave me the fuck alone. But it is something around the lines. I was being very polite, but also very stern, like, leave me alone. But anyway, this guy that I work with, he was like, "Yo, man, you need to watch the Japanese version." And he's the one who actually kind of got me back into it. The Frieza thing, when he was telling me about it, like, I knew it was coming, or he told me it was coming, blah, blah. And that's when I started watching it and getting back into it. But that Goku Black shit, that literally killed it for me. I thought that was the most boring arc there was, period.
Yeah, I think that was a DLC incentive for Xenoverse 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I guarantee, this is probably a safe bet, I guarantee he's going to be in the Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And also, I was searching like YouTube videos just for fun, and I don't know if you've gotten to this point or not. I saw something about a copy Vegeta or something.
Copy Vegeta?
Yeah, because I was just searching.
Well,
like,
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, like they incorporated like all the characters at some point with DLC and et cetera, like Goku Black, you know, the Blue, because you know Blue was still new when Xenoverse 2 came out.
Yeah.
But they incorporated all that shit in DLC and packages and et cetera, et cetera. But they're just skins, I guess, you know, if that's really what you want to call them. They're basically just fucking skins.
Yeah. And I'm calling this right now. I guarantee that Dragon Ball Fighter Z is gonna have a season pass. You just watch.
Well, everything has a season pass, man. Going back to taking a shit, I guarantee you if I go out and take a fucking shit right now, there's gonna be a DLC for that. Especially if you especially if you eat some Taco Bell. There's always that extra piece that needs to come out.
Cybernetic Slayer says a dude walks in with a shit ton of tattoos. What's the first question you should ask him? Oh, you like getting tattoos?
Right? Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like, oh man, you walk in. Like I said, I had a Dragon Ball Z shirt on. And his first question were like, oh, you like Dragon Ball Z? And I'm like, nah, man, fuck that shit, bro, man. Nah, fuck that shit, man. Nah, don't ever ask me that, man. That offends me. You're like, I'm triggered, or like, literally, obviously, I'm wearing the shirt because I like it, but I don't want to talk to you about it. Like, I just want to, like, you know, do my day-to-day thing and like wear this cool shirt that I bought. Like, what? I get it. Like, but he was a nice guy. Like, I won't front. He was super nice. But you know, there's people who are super nice. You just gotta watch them a little bit extra. I just don't trust those motherfuckers. When they're super nice and super friendly, I'm like, there's just something not right about you. Everyone should be angry for some reason. And that's just
because they make you want to buy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. McDonald's will have a season pass.
Simon says marriages should have season passes. Oh man, you are so fucking right. Yeah.
Dude, maybe President Trump will sign some kind of stupid law to have have season pass bullshit.
I need an extra sandwich, wife. I'm triggered. No, you let me say that shit because certain people are gonna be triggered. I need an extra sandwich. Yeah, no, I know it's to snort coke, man. I don't want to like say everyone's a drug addict, man, but I'm just saying from my personal experience, the people that I've met who are just super happy, super friendly, I just don't trust those motherfuckers, man. I just don't. There's something wrong with them. Look, I am who I am. I know who I am, and I'm a very kind of grumpy person. I kind of don't like everyone that I meet immediately. I'm very antisocial. And that's just me as a person, right? And when I meet people who are like very happy and like, hey, how's it going, buddy? I'm like, there's something fucking wrong with you. There's something fucking wrong with. Look, I don't even know you, but I know for a fact there's something wrong with. No one's that happy. No one's that fucking happy. That's just my synopsis, man. That's just the way that I work, man, in my brain. But I could be completely wrong.
Yep. And I was thinking of. Oh yeah, no, I was thinking of with anime being 2017. This is what I hate, and I wish companies would just release like seasons that's like now instead of continuing this like individual volumes. And say an anime has 10 volumes, they wait till all the 10 volumes are out, and then release a complete series set. And they're still doing this now, even though that's how the formula was back in the day, which kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, I can't speak too much to that because I don't really mess with like animes really. Like Dragon Ball Z or Super is like pretty much really it for me. Cowboy Bebop was a really, really big one for me. Like that's why I have this tattoo on my arm right here, and it's cowboy in Japanese. And I got that from Cowboy Bebop. And it's only because my grandpa used to call me Cowboy. And that's why when he passed, I kind of like took that as like a kind of a thing to turn it into a tattoo or whatever. But that was, that's neither here nor there. But Cowboy Bebop, another anime that I was into really was, not even like a series was, but I really liked the movie was, Princess Mononoke, Princess something. That was kind of cool. That was pretty cool. Princess Mononoke. You remember that? I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
That was another like fucking movie that was pretty dope. But as far as anime, like I said, like I guess I'm getting to your point. Like I just don't really follow too many animes. Like there's just very few and select ones like I'm really into. Not too many I can really speak too much on. And most of my I won't front, man. Most of my anime experience comes from like the original Toonami days.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was talking with a guy, I believe it was last year's Comic Con. He's like, "Yeah, man, that's all you watched back in the day." But like you said, Netflix and Hulu and really internet watching wasn't really big yet at the time. And of course, now it is, and it's really impressive that Toonami has been back ever since 2012, going on 5 years, which is really amazing. And I've been watching the return ever since. And the only days I don't watch are when they have reruns, and one of their old shows is coming back in a couple of weeks. Outlaw Star.
Yeah, I remember Outlaw Star, man. I remember really liking Outlaw Star, man. That was the shit. I don't remember it very vividly because I watched it back then, but I do remember really enjoying it. I just unplugged my fucking controller for my PC. I was trying to play a couple of my PC games, man, and fucking Origin. Origin EA's like type thing of Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's a sack of shit, man. It's great unless you're trying to stream it or record it. Like it makes the gameplay so choppy you can't even play it.
Well,
Steam, on the other hand, all my games that I played on Steam and tried to record have been great, or tried to stream. But like I was trying to record Titanfall 2 some gameplay today, and it just completely fucked it up. Never seen Toonami. Cyber said he's never seen Toonami, man.
Oh man, I can't believe someone said that. Oh boy. Dude, that was like the big thing in like the late 90s and early 2000s. I mean, that's how most of us got into anime, because like back during I don't know if you remember Fox Kids and Kids WB and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I watched, like I said, I think we talked before, like, I watched, like, the animated series, like, not a ton of them, a handful of them, and the ones that I watched, I really enjoyed. But I will say, hands down, and I know I'm going completely off topic with this, and sometimes I get angry at my kids, and they're like, what's, like, Phineas and Ferb and SpongeBob, and they like shit like that, right? And they're like, these are the greatest cartoons ever, and I'm like, don't you ever say that.
Yeah.
Don't you ever say that. Because if you've never seen the Animaniacs, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The Animaniacs is the fucking hands down best show of our generation, their generation, of any generation. Yeah. You'll never get a show like the Animaniacs. The clever humor, the innuendos, the fucking straight up slapstick, the fucking actual genius behind it. I mean, the Animaniacs is hands down one of the best fucking animated shows of all time.
Oh, it's getting a reboot.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, they announced it. I think just recently.
I'm fucking done. I'm out, man. I'm fucking yes, and more yes. Fuck yes. And if they dumb it down, I'm gonna be really pissed off though.
Yeah, and Cyber, if you want to read about the history of Toonami, just read Wikipedia. It'll tell you everything you need to know. But yeah, I was surprised by the whole after the whole April Fool's thing. Everybody was like, "Bring it back." Everybody went to Twitter and stuff, and like a month later they said, "Okay, you want it back? We're bringing it back," and people went nuts, and it's just been going up.
That's crazy, man. It's literally like it's like a new episode. Like they're just doing new shit with it.
Yeah, I mean they still have some like classics like Dragon Ball Z Kai, even though it's a redub. But they have here I'll read you what their come on, stupid TV.
Yeah, I even like I even have on my iPod, okay? I even have on my iPod fucking Yakos sings the fucking all the world's fucking capitals or state or countries and
Yeah,
whack in Yakko Wacko, I'm losing my mind. Yakko Wacko went out.
yeah,
Wacko sings the fucking states of the all the capitals of the state. Yakko
yeah,
sings all the countries of the world. I even have that shit on my iPod, and sometimes when that shit comes on, like dun 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 dun, 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 and like it's completely outdated at this point, but still, it's educational, it's smart, it's funny, it's slapstick, it's Looney Tunes, it's just so much into the Animaniacs. I don't think there will ever be a show like that ever again.
yeah. And one show that I don't think will ever come back again is Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember Ren and Stimpy, but like it was just like it was just basically fart and dick jokes. This is
Yeah,
all it was. It's like Beavis and Butthead in more of
yeah,
a, I guess, cartoon fashion. That's all it
yeah,
was, and that was like that weird era of the '90s where people were just obsessed with like fart and dick jokes. That's
yeah.
basically what that whole
And
era was.
and they tried to bring back Beavis and Butthead, but it bombed. But yeah, anyway, yeah, their current schedule is uh Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z Kai, uh JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, which is a sequel to the original JoJo Bizarre Adventures. It's really good if you haven't seen it. Tokyo Ghoul, Hunter x Hunter, Lupin the Third, which I have never cared for. Naruto bores me, and people who's watching don't hate me, but just Naruto bores the shit out of me. I could never get into it.
Look, dude, I've never even watched it, and I don't even want to. Like, I know they're like, oh, you got to give it a chance. I don't give a fuck about weird ninjas living in the woods. Like, fuck them. Like, fuck them. Fuck them. Uh, Tyler Stevenson asked, like, whatever happened to Tiny Toons? Tiny Toons was fucking also
Oh
very,
yeah,
very good, very clever, very good with the innuendos, very good with the, very, subtle jokes. And I guess if you watch it as someone in our age now, you might chuckle a little bit more than your kids would. Are like, is he talking about a penis? Like,
yeah,
no, Tiny Toons was, and even Tiny Toons like on NES was like actually a pretty solid fucking game if I remember correctly.
yeah. It's still pretty sought after, but yeah, in the last three uh shows are Ghost in the Shell, Attack on Titan, which is finished its first half
What
of
the fuck is
season
Attack
2.
on Titan about? Is that something I should watch?
Uh,
Is it good?
oh yeah, it's pretty good. I watched like season 1 back when they were airing it, and uh yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's
Is
on
it about literally just fucking big ass weird corpses that come back to life and just storm through the fucking villages and people have to attack them? Is that all it is?
well, kinda. I don't want to give like too much away because like season
Dude,
2
no,
is
just go ahead.
really like
No, spoil it rotten, man, because I literally need some kind of incentive to watch it.
well the easiest way to describe it is like this these group of people live in like this isolated place, right? And all of a sudden they see this big old like this hand just reach over and shit, and this other guy just bashes the wall, and basically the incentive of a titan is they want to eat people uh to survive, but then they find out they just like kill people just for the freaking fun of it and shit. and and so of course humans learn to uh learn how to kill titans, and basically you have to kill them, like cut them like in the back of their neck, because like if you just like blow their ass away like with a cannon or some shit, they just can keep regenerating basically. But yeah, the story is really good.
Sounds all right. Sounds pretty stupid from my standpoint, but hey, look, I mean, it's got a big following. I've heard of it. There's even a fucking full on like $60 game of the fucking thing, right? So
Yeah, on
it's gotta be
on
somewhat
PS4.
decent.
And I posted you can scroll down videos of my channel. I posted a video from Comic Con the year before. One of the voice actresses from the anime. She happened to come down here to Mississippi. I'm probably going to butcher her name. Uh, Tina Mishura, however you pronounce her last name. Yeah, she's one of the voice actresses in the anime. She's
Like
really nice.
the English version of it.
Yeah, the English version. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey man, I'm gonna take a quick 2-3 minute break. I gotta take a leak. I'm gonna make another drink. I'll be right back.
All right.
Don't go away, guys. I'll be right back.
I'll keep them entertained. Yeah. Well, in a way, it's a lot like Sword Art Online. Biofin. It's kind of it has a decent following. I mean, the show's good for what it is. I mean, I didn't go into like season one back when I watched like with high expectations. I just watched it going into it normal expectations. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Doc Cat was really good, and also the
I left my lighter in here. Gotta use one of these.
uh-oh. But yeah, they got a new uh reboot of a Dot Hack coming to the PS4. It's the GU games, and yeah, Dot Hack sound was really good. That's what I was talking about by Phoenix. Yeah, yeah, it's supposed to, yeah, I believe coming out next year, I believe. Oh no, it's a remaster of the PS2 games. That's what it is. It's not a new game. It's a remaster of the trilogy released on PS2. And I'm surprised they haven't remastered the like Dot Hack, which was the four-part trilogy. Let's see, I'm trying to think is a uh shoot, Infection. I can't remember what season two. Mutation. Volume 4 is Quarantine, and I forgot what the third one is. Oh fuck, this is gonna bother me. Yeah, I know. I had the whole like series at one point. And I was like, holy crap, it's worth like 200 bucks. I'm like, I'll go ahead and sell it. Okay, flip. And yeah, Volume 4 is outrageous. But maybe they'll bring those to the PS4 as well as a remaster. Here's hoping, because yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. Hey, BMG, yeah, Kamikaze he'll be back. He had to go take a poop. Yeah, well, he's going to go poop. I'm gonna go take a leak.
All right, back. Oh, Black Metal Gamer joined the chat. What's going on, bro? Angry masturbation. Well, all right. Hey, man, if you guys are on Skype, man, you don't have to be a part of the conversation, man, in the chat, man. If you guys want to join on Skype, man, I'll be more than happy to add you guys if you're interested. I'm more than happy to add you guys. Man, I went outside barefooted. Now I got shit all over my fucking feet. Jrpg, are you still there, bro?
Yeah, just while you were gone, I just wanted to go pee myself.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, it makes sense. No, yeah.
Yeah, I just figured while you were gone, I was like, yeah, I might as well go pee. Yeah, I didn't know how long you were gone. I was like, yeah, I might as well go take a leak myself.
Well, Cyber, if you want to join, man, hit me up on Skype, man. If you got to keep it down, that's fine. I mean, look, it's all good. If you can't join, like, completely understood. But yeah, no, I reached out to you, Cyber and Bio. I was like, man, I'd love to have a conversation with you guys, and like, we've never like talked one-on-one, man. My All right, cool, man. Bio, but hey, look, man, I'm down to have you guys on, whatever, man. Just fun stuff, man.
Yeah, I see Bio Phoenix on occasionally, but I guess he's always doing stuff or chatting with other people, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to hit me up on Skype, my shit, I don't even know what the fuck my name is on Skype.
I believe it's your YouTube your YouTube username.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm a fucking retard from time to time. It's cool. I do that. Yeah, it's Kamikaze space sound waves, exactly how it's spelled on my channel, man. So if you guys want to join, man, just fucking join the conversation, man. But no, so Jrpg, man, did you get Splatoon 2?
Not yet, but I probably will probably in the next couple of months, hopefully before Black Friday, maybe, I hope.
Did you play the first one?
No, because unfortunately I didn't have
That's
a Wii
right.
U.
That's right. You did tell me that. You didn't have a Wii U.
Yeah. But I remember you spoke highly of the first one, though.
Yeah, it took me time to get into it, man. It really did. Oh, okay. No, it took me time to get into that first one, man. My oldest son was really like, man, we really need this game. We really need this game. I've heard all my friends talking about it, and I'm like, so anti-Nintendo, I could really care less. And then when he finally convinced me to get it, and I'm like, cool. Every last one of my kids. That's what really inspired me to play it, because both my daughters and both my sons loved it. They played it when they're all by themselves, when they're together. They just really loved the game. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to check this out, and I want to just kind of see what they were talking about. And I played it. I'm not gonna lie, man. I got really addicted to it. The story was very, not even PG. It was like G, but it had like just little quirks, I guess, that would be more adult in it. But the multiplayer was fantastic, and I saw a funny meme one time where it was like teens or kids are the ones who were playing Call of Duty, and adults are the one who were playing Splatoon. Fucking Dow Phoenix is gonna roast me on that one again. I don't know why I keep calling it Splatoons, man. I'm just old or some shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not in the chat. I guess he must be asleep.
No, Dow Phoenix. I think he's mad at me, man. I kind of like he was forgot what it was, man. He was talking about. Remember it was like last stream. He was like talking shit about my Overwatch, man. I had to like tell him to fuck off, man. I love Overwatch, man. They can't do no wrong in my eyes, man. I love Overwatch. So it's that's just where I'm at with that fucking shit, man. I literally could care less what anybody says about it, man. I love Overwatch.
Yeah, if you like platforms, a lot of people are really into the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy remaster, which that'll probably be one of the games I'll get during Black Friday when it goes on sale. Even at its full $40 price tag, it's still worth it, though.
We talking about ukulele?
Oh no, Crash Bandicoot.
Do you see how the fucking comparison of that shit is? It's like both like games are just 90s type.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm a retard. Like I said, I already stated that I'm a retard. It's cool. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, man. I mean, it's just like I don't see what the fucking appeal of this fucking game is. Like, it's the same thing that it was then. It has a graphical update, but how many games have we gotten like that? The graphical updates, etc., etc. Who gives a fuck, dude? Who gives a fuck? It's Crash Bandicoot. If you didn't play it before, you want to play it now. More power to you. But if you haven't played it before, what the fuck new are you getting out of this fucking $40? All right, fair enough. I'm a fan of Halo, so I bought the mastered the collection, and I even bought even when they made the Halo 1 Combat Evolved remaster, etc., etc. I get it. If you're a fan of Crash that big, I get it. But you don't see things going like off the fucking rails about Halo's remastered games or any other remastered games. It was Crash. It just had like this big cult following, and I still don't fucking get it. What the fuck is this fucking just obsession with Crash Bandicoot? Like, it's not that great of a game. It's a difficult game. It's a good game. I'm not saying that it's bad, but what is the just sexual obsession with Crash Bandicoot? I don't get it. It's not that great.
It was just one of the like big things of the PS1 era, and I don't know if you heard of the stuff. People were comparing the difficulty to Dark Souls, and I was chatting on this with one of my YouTube buddies when he did a podcast. I was in his chat. I said, platformers are always challenging. He's like, yep. I mean, when you play, I mean, you get rage. I mean, you're gonna probably see me rage when I play Mega Man 8 this week on Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 for the PS4. They got this one section, or one of two sections. It's like they like to call it the whole jump, slide, jump, and you basically got to do what the computer tells you. Otherwise, you're gonna screw up. And I'll probably send you a video later, but it looks like it's stupid, but you got to do it.
I get it. Listen, like I don't got nothing. Crash makes people wet. But why? What is the obsession with Crash Bandicoot? We have Mario. We have Sonic. We even have Bugsby, for fucking crying out loud. Is he a mascot of an official fucking franchise? Maybe Atari. I don't fucking know. But we have all this shit. Like, what in the fucking actual fuck is this obsession with Crash Bandicoot? Like, he's cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he had this little tear off jeans, his shirt off. He's a rebel, man. He like spins around, doesn't really give a fuck. He has his little eye wink thing. Like, cool shit, man. Cool shit, bro. You know, more power to you. But I never remember Crash Bandicoot as being like that much of an influence on anything in my life. I mean, I played Crash 1, 2, and 3. I don't remember 3 as much, but I do remember playing 1 and 2, and I'm like, cool. All right. Like, they weren't like an impactful game in my life. Maybe I'm being stupid and not acknowledging that it was very impactful on other people's gaming thing, but for me, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Was it for you?
I enjoyed the PS1 games, even though I could never finish any of them. Even though I've heard 3 is the most easiest, and a lot of people say the first game is the most difficult. I enjoyed them, even though, like I said, platformers are always challenging. You get mad, but you get mad in a good way because you have to keep trying to do better.
Yeah, but I mean, if I remember PS1, like I remember PS1 for Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
I remember PS1 for
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh fuck, dude! Yeah, absolutely. Final Fantasy 8, even unfortunately.
Yeah. I loved the original Metal Gear Solid, even though the story was confusing as fuck. Granted, we didn't have YouTube at the time, and I enjoyed the game, even though the story was really confusing to follow.
I think in my time when the PS1 came out, I guess I was a well, technically, yeah, absolutely, like Saber said. I guess that was a time in my life where
Time.
I was an older teen or whatever. I don't even remember the fuck how old I was. I wasn't out of the house yet, though. I remember that, so I had to be young. And I guess I remember, like, I've played my little, I guess, teeny bopper stage platforming games, and I guess I wanted to, like, accept to myself I'm like more of an adult. I want more of adult themes and adult games. So PS1 to me was like, I always remember like playing those more mature games on it. And I think that was the phase where I kind of drifted out of the kids bop era,
Yeah.
like I remember like not playing as many kid friendly games on PS1. That's when I started to tackle like the Siphon Filter, Metal Gear Solid, et
I
cetera, et
wish
cetera.
Siphon Filter would come back. I wish it would.
Yeah,
But it,
probably not. Probably not. But that's what I'm getting at. It's like I just remember PS1 like, where I started to play more like even Soul. I think Soul Calibur, or was it Soul Calibur had its first game on PS1, or a game like Soul Calibur, or was it Soul Edge or some bullshit?
yeah. I'm trying to think or is it so. I'm thinking of a game, Soul Blade, assuming that exists.
It could.
But yes,
It's one of those type of like Soul Calibur type games that had like Siegfried in it, like more fighting games and Mortal Kombat. I mean, Mortal Kombat was trash on that whole system, but I started to dive more into like the more adult type games on a PS1 era. So it was hard for me. Like I guess I'm just trying to go full circle with this whole Crash Bandicoot thing. Like I played Crash 1, I played Crash 2, I played Crash 3. I think I played Crash 3. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure I played it. And I don't need to be fucking crucified for this shit. But I just remember like those are cool, those are fun. And they're nice little whatever. I got my PS1 much later when it was released, so I got into it around the Metal Gear Solid phases and Final Phases and Resident Evil. That was the game, Resident Evil. That is actually why I fucking fought tooth and nail to get a PS1 was Resident Evil. That was a very mature adult fucking game, and that's where I was in gaming when that system came out. I wanted to play more mature type games. So fucking Crash Bandicoot was like, very just microscopic on my scope. I just didn't give two squirts of piss about it, man. It just wasn't a big deal to me. And if it was for you, and that's fine, I'm not going to argue it. Like, everybody has their own thing. I get it. But for me, it just wasn't a big deal. All in Silent Hill, oh god, that fucking scene where you go through the alley and that bitch is like impaled on, fucking shit. Oh man. And apparently my chair sounds like a door from Resident Evil, so.
Do you think Silent Hill will ever make a comeback?
Well, it was going to. It was going to. I think that could have been potentially the greatest horror game of our generation. Agree to disagree. But, things happen. I get it. I understand.
If Konami can't get their act together, maybe they should just sell off the rights to somebody else. And
too much pride, bro. Too much pride.
Well, here's a thought on Konami as well. I hear feedback.
For me?
Or echo. I heard echo. I think it was me. Test. I don't hear it now. That was weird.
It happens. Oh, and I realized earlier, the reason I was getting that feedback was because I had my Twitch account on. I was streaming on Twitch, and I didn't mute my stream on Twitch. That's why I was literally rehearing exactly everything I was saying. I'm a re.
And yeah, what I was going to finish saying on my Konami point. they're missing out on so much money because they won't make the original Contra like downloadable on the virtual Nintendo's virtual console service, but almost every other Contra is there, which doesn't make sense.
Well, that's something like I'll put in that in the context of something like Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll get like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, 4, and 7, but you won't get the original one. You won't get the good one, the best one.
Yeah.
You need to go out and buy that one. We'll give you a taste in the how terrible the other ones are, but you won't get the good one, the original one, the first one.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Retro Bro was I don't know if you watched his Demon Crest stream a few months back. He was talking about like retro games and if there was going to be. I think I'm the one who brought it up in this chat. I'm not sure, but yeah, he said like, yeah, people aren't going to pay like $30 to $40 for the original Contra forever. It's just not going to happen. That's the only reason why people are paying that much because you can't download it like legally anyway.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wanted the original Contra on the NES Mini, but no, we got Super C, and granted, Contra 3 is on the SDS Mini, even though it's freaking hard. I had to cheat to beat that fucking game. I mean, grant I accepted cheating because Contra and Super Ghouls and Ghosts are like insanely difficult, and oh boy, when I play that game, I'm gonna be saving like every other screen. Save.
Yeah, Simon Says he put the Simpsons arcade game back on PSN. Okay, all right, fair. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
but okay, Konami also made that X-Men fighting game. Remember that one?
yeah, X-Men versus Street Fighter thing. Yeah,
it's not great. It's not great. I mean, I get it. It's fun and shit, but the X-Men fighting game, shit. Welcome to Die. It was like that.
You mean the arcade game? Yeah.
Yeah, the arcade game. That's the same one. It's made by Konami, right?
Oh, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let me.
Oh, someone asked me, can you show off how to make a cheese sandwich? Yeah. Bring your mom.
Let's see. Here we go. Yep. Produced by, Konami.
Yeah. And I mean, it's. I guess like I think it's like another game like everyone wanted, and when you actually played it, it was like, oh, we finally got it, and it was like, yes, it's not as great as I remember. Like it's not an arcade. I'm not pumping quarters in. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's nothing something like I would go crazy about, but.
Yeah. The only thing I hate is your mutant power was limited, so you couldn't spam that shit.
Simon says, bring your own MILF. Right on, brother. Right on. Bring her. That's funny.
And probably the hardest arcade game like ever was the Avengers.
But that was even a good port though. I remember on SNES was fun.
Yeah, but it was freaking hard.
Yeah, well, rightfully so, man. They're supposed to be like, they're designed to take your money.
Yeah, to take your money.
That's what they're there for, man. They could give a fuck less about being good. And that's back when, like, we had like fucking critics, writing a script about like, portraying your game as being good or bad. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to take your quarters and fuck shit up, and I'm allowed to fucking shit up. Give me your quarters.
But in a way, it's kind of like difficulty was accepted back then, just like NES games. Oh yeah, well yeah, games are short. Okay, let's just make them like insanely difficult to piss people off, like
Yeah.
Battletoads.
Oh man, Battletoads. I even tried to play Battletoads on the Rare Replay on Xbox. Remember that shit? The
Yeah,
Xbox One. They made the Rare Replay with the rewind function where you can play some of those really difficult games.
yeah,
Dude, that's even still with that function. That's a difficult fucking game, man. That fucking and I've done it before when I was a kid. I remember getting to the level after the hoverboard shit, and
yeah,
I remember doing it. I did it. But after that, like, that's a wrap. Like, you've got nothing left after that, man. And to replay that over and over, like the next 5 years, and think that
yeah,
you're gonna fucking keep practicing that forever, man. Fucking a new Ninja Turtle game or some fucking Mario Brothers coming out. Like, I don't got time to practice this shit for the rest of my life. I'm young. I'm adolescent, and they were really good
yeah,
about marketing. You know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck about that. But they were really good about making you move on to buy the next product and et cetera, et cetera.
yeah. Just like I don't know if you remember Donkey Kong Country 3, where it has showing the N64 when you go in to save your game. It's like, yeah, forget Super Nintendo, go buy an SNES, bitches. To me, that was like the best marketing ever, and they didn't have to do anything.
Hey, Biophoenix says Battletoads is not even that good, to be honest. I
It
would kind of
it's
disagree, man. I think that
it,
it was kind of ahead of its time a little bit.
yeah, but it just pisses people off because that Contra and like I said, Ghosts and Goblins and just they're like probably the top three like
Yeah,
most
but
difficult games like
Battletoads,
ever.
that scene, like in the very first, I believe it's the very first stage where like we're going up against that mech and like you're throwing the balls at the
Yeah,
screen of the mech.
yeah,
Like that was pretty inventive, I think, for the time.
yeah,
I could be wrong. I don't remember any other game doing that. Like I said, I
no,
could be stand wrong, but I remember like that being like that was pretty interesting. That was a pretty dope. I've never seen anyone like throw the ball at the screen and have like cracked in a POV type mode before that. I thought that was pretty inventive.
yeah. The only other game I know that did that was uh Turtles in Time on Super Nintendo, where you took the foot soldiers and flung them at Shredder.
Yeah, but that was cool as shit too. Yeah, that was cool as shit too. Um,
I just can't wait to someone to hack the SNES Mini after it comes out and see people adding games to it. Yeah, I'm probably going to be adding more than a half a dozen games to mine once I get my hands on it.
did you hack your NES Mini or NES Classic or whatever?
No, I didn't hack that because most of it on there was on there what I wanted. But yeah, SNES, there's going to be like a good amount of stuff I'm going to add. Mainly the stuff that's like crazy expensive that I know I'll never own.
So, quick question, man, and you don't have to answer this, but if the price was right and whatever's going on, and you're like, you know what, fuck this shit, would you be interested in selling your NES Mini like a couple years down the line, where the thing's been a novelty, we get it, and et cetera, but it's gone down the line like certain things are, and the expectation for the price of it is like astronomical, and people are like offering thousands of dollars for it. Would you sell it?
I would probably definitely sell the NES one, but the SNES one I'll never sell that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I love the SNES too much.
Uh, that's where where did, and that's a good question. I think I've always wanted to ask you, like, where did you start with gaming? Like, what was your very first console, hands down?
Uh, uh, Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah, because I didn't get a NES till like much later, and PlayStation and Saturn and N64 was already out by that time,
Mm.
and our NES library is like less than like 10 games. Like I said before in a few other podcasts, I don't buy like every single game that I want to have. I'll just buy what I like and keep it. Because I mean, if you're gonna own like say every NES game, where are you gonna store all that shit?
Yeah, fair enough.
you got to have all that shelf space, and you got to worry about alphabetizing and just too much stuff to keep track of. You got to think about which games you don't have, and just it's too much work.
Yeah.
If you like to emulate other than Raspberry Pi, PSP is good for emulating stuff.
Oh, I got a PSP. I got a PSP.
Yeah, PSP can emulate a lot of good stuff.
No, I started out with the NES. God, I wish I wouldn't have. That thing really put just a sour taste in my mouth. But from there, I moved to the Sega Genesis, and right around then is when my parents did their separation, and my dad tried to buy my love, and he got me a Sega CD, and I thought I was the coolest fucking person in the world, because, man, nobody on the block had a Sega CD but this guy. And had that Sega CD, man, and I used to show that shit off, and I thought I was just ahead of the curve. Even when Super Nintendo was around, I didn't have a Super Nintendo for years and years and years. And people were like, "Yo, man, Mega Man X, Street Fighter Turbo 2," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, it's on a cartridge. You're behind the times, man. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I got a disc. It's got movies on it and shit." And I thought I was so fucking cool. Little did I know, like, I had the worst system in the whole neighborhood. Everybody everybody who had a Super Nintendo, they were like fucking killing the game, right? And they had the Mega Man X. They had the fucking Mega Man X. I tell you, that's what like literally like drove me and had like broken and bloody knees like this. Like, man, I gotta have a Super Nintendo, Dad. I gotta have it. But.
Well, mainly just Tyler Stevenson. Yeah, just asked me a question. Yeah, mainly just the expensive RPGs that won't be on there due to licensing, and plus the original Star Ocean, which never saw a release here in the States on Super Nintendo until a remake on the PSP and Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I saw your chat on the screen. Yeah, but Tyler's comment was like all like
yeah. I don't
messed
understand
up.
why it does that like randomly for some reason. I don't understand like how to fix that, but whatever.
Yeah, but I can see it good on the right hand side. Yeah, but it's all like it was messed up on the this display screen though. But yeah, I guarantee some people like the NES Mini are gonna like max out like how many. I mean, I've heard like where people like you can fit the whole like NES library on the NES Mini, but you gotta like do some weird shit to it, like put stuff in like folders and stuff. I'm not gonna max it out. I'm probably gonna add probably less than 10, maybe 15 games at the most, because most of the 21 games that are on there are stuff that we already want to have anyway.
Well, let me ask you this: like you know, like I know that you love like a lot of games like that, right? So my question to you is, I guess, like, wouldn't you rather just get like a
Raspberry Pi?
Right, but like if you're really that passionate about the SNES Mini, I would say like not modding it in the future outcome would be more of a ideal suggestion, because you could eventually sell the thing. If something happened to happen, you never know how shit happens and et cetera, et cetera. But like to mod it, I think like you're literally taking the price tag. Yeah. You're taking the price tag off of it and literally crumping it up, or the receipt for it, and just throw it in the trash, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's my question to you. Like, I mean, that's what I think about, like by modding something like that.
Yeah. Probably what I'll do is maybe if I had the money by that time, probably what I'll do is I'll probably maybe get a spare, like keep in the box and like storage or something, and probably like have that as like a little nest egg or whatever. But a buddy of mine who I help sell stuff at a flea market on eBay on occasion, like he has a complete in box Zelda he wants me to sell for him, so he's gonna like turn around and like trade that for like Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo or something. But but yeah, he thinks that it's just gonna be like a novelty item because it's so limited, and of course Nintendo's gonna be limiting stuff on purpose. But I've heard stories of like now people are finding like stock, or I don't know if GameStop or Amazon and all that were holding back stock on purpose, because Amazon has like their little like some kind of like uh I forgot what it's called, some kind of like truck that drives around like different like states, and they sell the NES Mini. So
Nah, so
there-
like I guess I don't know if I missed your answer or nothing, but like, I mean, I know you said like you're planning on modding it, but like knowing that it could be that potential price in the future, you're still gonna mod it though.
yeah, probably what it is, like I said, I'll probably get a spare and leave it as is probably.
Okay, all right, fair enough, man. Well, just curious because like I just felt like if I actually get my hands on something like that, I feel like tampering with that hardware, which would seem like the most logical thing to do, because you can get what you want on it, and but at the same time, I feel like you're kind of like taking money and just flushing it down the toilet.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much like a Raspberry Pi in a box. That's pretty much what it is.
And that's true. But a Raspberry Pi doesn't say like it's made from Nintendo. It's
Yeah.
made by Sega. And even though it's 10 times better, it doesn't have that official stamp on it. So it's garbage in a lot of people's eyes and opinions and values. Right? So
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Nintendo branded stuff, man. It's just like people are still buying the original Super Mario Brothers to this day, and even games like Smash Brothers. I don't know. It's like you were saying. People are always going to want the uh, physical carton. Not everybody wants to download retro. They want to have, like you said, the legitimate disc or the legitimate cartridge.
yeah. No, and even Tyler Stevenson, I think maybe he was asking you this, but did you see Bros little Super Pie?
Yeah, I saw that.
And look, man, Retro Bro, look, man, that dude, like, I got nothing but respect for the guy. He's a hustler, man. He knows like the right time to strike with this type of stuff, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be the people who can't get it and are like, fuck it, fuck this shit, fuck all this stuff, fuck Nintendo. I'm getting one of these. Like, that's a great time to drop something like that in that hard casing. He's very smart about this stuff, man. I credit where credit's due, right? But at the same token, like, there are, like we already discussed, like, there's the people who want to have that hardware, that have that stuff. And look, man, if you got the money laying around, and if I had the money laying around, or if I had the time, I would want to own a SNES Mini. I would. I'm not going to say like I completely hate on it, but it's like I felt so burned the same way I did like with Marvel vs. Capcom, what we've talked about time and time and time again. It's literally like it does something to you in your mentality where you're just like, I just don't care. I could give a shit less. I could give a fuck less. And there is still that part of me as a human being who wants to own it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to fight that hard for it. Yeah, I do want it. I'm not going to tell you that I don't want it. I think we all want it, right? I think we all would want to have something like that on our shelf. But to know how limited quantities, how much you would have to do to actually own one, etc., etc., I don't have that much of a drive in me or care that much about owning it. And if some people really, really, really want to like, go through and do all that stuff, and that's cool, man. Do what you got to do. But for me, my drive for it is completely over with. It does not appeal to me.
Are you gonna buy Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite when it comes out in about a month or so, or are you gonna wait?
I really don't know, man, because it looks really good, man. If I do it, I will look like a complete hypocrite for doing so. And if I don't do it, then I think I'm going to be very salty. I think I'm going to be very salty, man. I really want to play it. I really do. I really actually am been watching it. Now that we had our conversation maybe 2 times ago, and you were telling me about Hagar and shit in it.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty good. It's got some good fucking characters coming out, man, that are very interesting.
Yeah, but it's just gonna bug me, like you said, with the Ultimate versus Capcom 3. Oh, those of us who say pre-order the deluxe edition, and then later, a year later, they come out with the complete edition with all the DLC and character costumes and whatnot.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
okay?
Me too.
That's what I'm so afraid of, because I don't, at this point, I don't think they're going to do that. I really full-heartedly believe that Capcom won't do that now. I think that they've had their lessons, stern reactions, what have you, okay? I think Capcom...
It was Street Fighter V in the end.
But even Street Fighter V didn't do that. But I think they've learned to not do that anymore, okay? But at the same token, I'm thinking that, like, they have learned to not do that, but maybe they have learned to do it a little bit better.
Less, yeah. Or
not less, but like they've learned how to do it better. So when it comes out, guess what? Claire Redfield or Chris Redfield isn't, or Chris Redfield isn't it, but let's say Jill Valentine isn't in it. $35 for this character. Could be wrong. I'm just saying maybe they've learned how to play the game, because you gonna tell me that people are obsessed with that game wouldn't pay $35 for a Jill Valentine character, because they damn sure would. They damn sure would. I would be. I would. And at that time, I would. But I've learned that I've fallen out of the fighting game genre because of that game. I was obsessed with fighting games, and specifically Capcom games, until that game, and it literally it ruined my moral compass. Well, their moral compass ruined me, and I literally have fallen out of fighting games. I was obsessed with fighting games until that fucking bullshit. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's making me angry.
Tyler is saying, which one of you wanted Marvel vs. Capcom on Dreamcast? Well, that'd be a Kamikaze, because I didn't have a. Yes, I got the original one on a PlayStation and the sequel on a PS2. And two was outrageously expensive. Oh, I was watching this interesting video, and I guess you heard about, since Ultra Street Fighter 2 sold really well, Capcom wants to bring other games to the Switch, and this one dude made a video, and he says, how about Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or even a combo of 1 and 2 for the Switch? Oh, which I would love that. I would buy that instantly.
Yeah, I did see that, and it just sucks. Like that's the route. That's the route that it has to go, right? They have to have that successful market on that. Like, oh, okay, now we're good. Now we're cool. Now let's put out some. No, fuck that. Like, I get it. I do get it. Don't get me wrong. The companies have to sell to make this and to profit and etc. And now we'll open up the floodgates where, we should have been cool all along. I know. Capcom turned their back on Nintendo a while back ago. I get it. Sony was killing it, man. That's where they needed to go. But no,
I mean, it wasn't just them. A lot of third parties jumped ship to the PlayStation.
Yeah, absolutely. But Capcom, well, I can just speak for Capcom in a big fashion, because that's just, I love Capcom. But no, I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, if they really want to go that route, I mean, I actually really want to get that Street Fighter game for the Switch, but it's still, I mean, for $30 though, you're essentially just buying. Look, whatever. I'm not even going to tackle that shit. But no, I mean, Capcom, if they want to go back and play ball with Nintendo, I think that those are two of the best companies, when they're in cahoots together, can produce like some of the most best, amazing, flat out fucking games, man.
Well, just do what I do. Wait till Black Friday. But I know how you had your experience with Black Friday in stores. Just order it online and have it shipped to your house.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm good, man. Fuck Black Friday, man.
Well, I'm just saying you can order online. Like a lot of games that'll be like I said, 40 will probably be like half off. I mean, or you can wait till Cyber Monday and just order online that way.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's the best time to strike with games. Pretty much, that's really the best time because usually companies don't have very many individual sales, especially Nintendo. They rarely have sales.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are bitching about how the Switch is mostly going to be PS4 and Xbox One ports of certain games, like and to a lesser extent PS3 and Xbox 360. But we can pretty much establish that the Final Fantasy VII remake, there's no way that's coming to Switch. No
Well,
way.
you know, it's only been in development for like 17 fucking years at this fucking point, and apparently it's not coming out till 2022. So it's gonna be like on the fucking PS7 at this point. Yeah, you know, and it's very disappointing because how long ago was I? Look, I won't argue it. I was about to say something, but you know what? Fuck that statement. A good game is eventually delayed.
Yeah.
Right? And a
Yeah.
bad
Just
game,
like Zelda.
right? And a bad game is rushed, and it's forever bad. I wouldn't mind if they spent another 2 years developing that game because I'm gonna tell you right now, if that game happens to be bad,
Ooh, they won't recover from that.
never, ever, ever, ever will they recover because that is
No.
the game. That is the game that Square Enix fans, Final Fantasy fans, fucking
Yeah.
Sony fans want. And if that game bombs, oh fucking
They're done.
shit. Yeah, absolutely. The uproar that they get from that, the memes that it will get from that, the fucking backlash it will get from that,
Yeah.
the rants that they get from that, the YouTube videos it gets from that, all of that will end that fucking company, period.
Yeah. A lot of people were worrying that Final Fantasy 15 would have bombed, and if that would have bombed, I don't think they would have had the resources to make the Final Fantasy 7 remake. But yeah,
Well, if 15 had bombed, which I was actually surprised at how well it did, and I actually really want to play it. I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
But if that would have bombed,
I was just saying like the whole like what if scenario. That's what I was doing.
right. No, that's what I agree with. Is if that would have bombed, then they would have put a lot of. I actually kind of. All right, this is just a weird make believe scenario, right? If 15 would have bombed, that may have not been a bad thing for people wanting that RF Final Fantasy VII remake because they would have put a lot of time and effort into it to get that fan base back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I guess they could have like turned a negative into a positive kind of.
Right.
You said what if scenario. Yeah.
But like, I think everybody look. I can't. Well, you're not going to attest to this, but I can. If I play any Final Fantasy game, it becomes because I played Final Fantasy VII, and I don't think you're in that realm. You play Final Fantasy games for a different reason. That those, you didn't start with 7. I did.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this little quick question. Since I know how much you were a diehard like Sega fan, like how many, I guess you could say, screw ups do you give a company before you say, okay, I've had enough of their fuck ups. I'm not dealing with them anymore?
It varies. Okay, and it depends on the severity of the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I will say, coming like, we'll start off with Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy 7. We went to Final Fantasy 8. That's a pretty big fuck up, in a lot of people's opinions. My opinion with it is like maybe Final Fantasy 8 wasn't as bad as I gave it credit for. I know it gets a lot of backlash from like critics, etc., how they think the game is bad and how they bashed it. But I remember before critics and before YouTube, like I had that same initial thought. Like I hated it. I disliked it. I disliked everything about it. So that is kind of where I started and stopped. I started with FF7. I ended with FF8. So that's one aspect.
You should really give 9 a try. It's really good.
I've heard 9 is amazing. I've heard that it's a true return to form.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
So I don't knock it. I won't bash it in the series as a whole. I do need to give that game a try. But the thing is, I did try Final Fantasy X and loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. Yeah.
I really, really like Final Fantasy X. I thought it was amazing. I spent a lot of time with that fucking game. So that's one aspect. I guess another aspect is you're asking me, how much time do I give company where I say fuck them?
Yeah.
I guess we can, the Marvel vs. Capcom thing, I think for me kind of speaks for itself, so I don't really write on that topic too much. I think I've already, that's already overstated for me. Mm-hmm. Another one.
I was going to say, in regards to Sega with the upcoming, Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, let me ask you this, since I know you're very excited for Sonic Forces, I know some of my buddies are excited for Sonic Mania, to, each their own. But how well do you think those games need to do in general for Sega to get back on their feet, so to speak?
Okay. All right. Honest time. No matter how bad Sonic Mania or Sonic Forces does, if it happens to do bad, the Sonic fan base will buy the next one.
Yeah.
They're going to buy the next one. They always will and forever. And I fall into that category. That's why I can speak for them. Okay? I played Sonic 06 and liked it.
Yeah, I've heard that's infamous for being one of the worst bad games ever.
Not even a bad Sonic game. It is a bad game of any fucking genre, generation, etc., etc. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible game. Oh, Tyler Steven asked me why is or I don't know if he's asking both of us. Why is Final Fantasy VIII so bad? Did you play Final Fantasy VIII?
Yeah, I played it and finished it. And yeah, I was kind of mixed about them, and I get they were trying to be different, and yeah, if you want, Tyler, I'll probably make a video maybe later this weekend. I guess you can make your own separate one if you want to talk about how you felt about 8. But yeah,
you come from Cloud, who is a quiet protagonist, who's interesting, quiet, down to earth, somewhat reasonable, I think, in my opinion. Very just James Bond, if you will, just cool fucking guy. And you go to Squall, who's just egotistical punk piece of shit who you know what? Fuck it. I play the games, dude. I can't do it. I can't do it any more than that, Tyler. I wish I could break it down for you. But there is a fucking, you have to experience it. And it won't even give you that long. If you can download it for free, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 with Final Fantasy VII's opening versus Final Fantasy VIII, and there's just a complete disconnect from one game to the next. And I get it. They're not connected. They're not the same game. But Final Fantasy VII, the Mysteria, the lore about what's going on, you're intrigued. What's going on? Why are these things blowing up? Why are you even part of this team? Until, someone hit me in the head with a sword. I love my teacher. That's what the whole. It's it didn't fit for me. It was it was so forced. Whatever, man. Look, I never played any Final Fantasy game before. I did play a few ones afterwards, so I get they're just very different, and there's a disconnect between all of them, and they shouldn't be the same because I guess they would lose money that way. And they're on their own story and their own protagonists and their own blah blah
universes and such. Yeah,
right. But Final Fantasy VIII was just like it to me was an embarrassment coming from Final Fantasy VII and how intriguing, down to earth the characters were, how beautiful that story was done, how intriguing it was. And 8 may have been that way for some people. For me, absolutely fucking not. It was terrible. It was terrible in my opinion. And I tried it. I'm not giving that off of any other opinion but my own. I played it. I disliked it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and you're entitled to your opinion, despite what big YouTubers think, and that's why I don't watch a lot of big YouTubers. But that's just me. I'm one of those guys. I'll respect your opinion. If you respect, mine, that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, just download it off PSN for like $10, Tyler. Man, it's kind of like how people like hype up Shenmue. I mean, you have to like experience, and if there ever is a Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, which there have been rumors of that, and if there is, I'm gonna buy that game just to see if it was everything that everybody cracked it up to be. Because what I'm heard, that's like a job simulator, and
that's a good point though, because if you try to explain Shenmue to someone nowadays, they would think like, can I buy weed from you? Like it's a weird concept. It's weird as fuck. But I mean, all those games were back then, and I'm not just saying like these certain games that we're talking about. We're talking about Crash Bandicoot earlier, about fucking jeans and a half shoot marsupial doing who fucking spins and shit. I get it. It's a different time. It's a different age, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm getting to is, Final Fantasy VIII. It's just it's its own entity. I'm not gonna say that it's a terrible game, and I guarantee there's something to appreciate there for anyone and everyone who wants to experience it. I tried to find the beauty in it, like I try to do everything, but coming from initial Final Fantasy VII, where I never played a previous Final Fantasy game before, and trying to go forward and expecting more of the same, I was hugely let down, disappointed. And does that do that game justice? No. But I think at the same time, me saying that I was let down by that game, you get multiple people who think that game is a letdown and that whole series. So I think that kind of speaks to my point where that's why I never moved forward with a Final Fantasy game, because I went on the high note as much as it could be, right down to their worst note that they could make, and that's where I continued with it. So,
yeah, and I didn't mean to get off topic, but you were talking about Sega and Sonic 06. Yeah, I'm so tempted to find like a used copy of that.
Do it. You do it, dude. Do it right now. Go on eBay right now. If you can find it for $5 or $10, you have to experience it, man. It's so bad. It's good. It's like I'm trying to think of like one of the worst movies that was popular that everyone liked, but they liked it just because of how bad it. Hey, what's the name of that movie?
The original Street Fighter movie.
Oh, no, it's worse. It's worse. Look, I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I even remember DP was trying to question my Sonic fandom, but no, dude, I have played the most terrible Sonic games there could possibly be. And 06 is the one of them. And I'll tell you right now, I made a review. Check out my channel. I made a review of Sonic Generations. I've made a review of what was the game for Generations? It was
I think there was also was it Shadow the Hedgehog? I think that was also
no. I didn't play. I made a review of Sonic 3D World. I made a review of Sonic Generations.
Oh yeah, I saw the 3D 3D whatever it was that you did. Yeah, I saw that.
I made a review of Sonic Generations as well, and I think in that review I referenced, and I stand by this. I remember this quote. I said in it. I said I bought Sonic 06 the day that it came out. I waited in line for that piece of garbage. And I liked it. And I justified it. But I justified it because I'm such a huge Sega fan. and I'm such a huge Sonic fan. And that's true. I'm not fabricating that at all. I'm not saying that for any other reason. I like Sonic games. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how ugly they are. I like Sonic games. I just like Sonic as a character. And maybe that kind of brings me full circle to some people who are saying, like, maybe that's why the Crash Bandicoot games are very justifiable nowadays. I just didn't see the appeal of those games. And I guess me saying, like, I love Sonic games now, people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, they're Sonic. They're terrible. Maybe so. I get it. Now I'm maybe starting to see the light in what I'm saying. But no, there are certain games that, like, I love. And Sonic is a huge part of them. Big time.
It's the Manos Hands of Fate of games, whatever that means. Tyler posted something that I don't know what he means.
I don't know what that means either. But he said Shenmue might not hold up now, but back then it was mind-blowing. Yeah, Shenmue was fucking amazing. There was no other game out there like it.
But it was like I was saying earlier, I think people are going to get way overhyped for the third game. But let me ask you this, since I know how much you love Sonic. How did you, like, transition from, like, the old 2D Sonics going into was it okay, now I know what game I'm thinking of. Going from the old 2D Sonics to Sonic Adventure, which was the first 3D Sonic game on the Dreamcast.
Don't even get me started on Sonic Adventure, and I will sit here and argue with anybody who wants to argue with me. I think that is one of the best Sonic games of all time. I don't care. Take your 2D Sonics, I get it. That's fine. I appreciate it. I love Sonic 2D. I do. But Sonic Adventure, I love Sonic Adventure. And Sonic Adventure even 2. Both of them were fucking really good games. And you can argue with me all day, but I think they were really good fucking Sonic games. It's very stupid acting, very stupid shit nowadays to look back in retrospect. I get it. But for the time, were they Mario 64? No. They weren't Mario 64. They weren't trying to be Mario 64, though. That was the thing. Mario 64 was a thing, but they were still doing 3D Sonic with a weird fucking story, no mind you, but it still was cognizant. It still made decent sense, I guess, if you were smoking a lot of weed, but still, it was a decent fucking story. And you had, and not every level was a fucking hit, especially when you had to play as Big and Tails and Knuckles and Rouge the Bat. But still, when you played as Sonic, those were good fucking levels. Period.
Yeah, in a way, Sonic's a lot like Mega Man. You don't really play for the story, you play for the gameplay. That's what you're there for. And I think that's why they're making both Mania and Forces, is to appeal to both audiences. That's why Sega's doing it.
But I've seen multiple videos, and I will agree with whoever made this video. Okay, you can, and I think the title of this video was, you can literally not please the Sonic fan base. You just can't. No matter if you do a 2D game, well, it's not Sonic 2. It's not fucking supposed to be Sonic 2. We're in 2017. You gotta fucking get out of your fucking bed, take your old pajamas off from 1987, wake up, do something different. It doesn't have to be the same thing over and over. Well, it's not the same thing. Who gives a flying fuckola? Who gives a shit? It's not supposed to be the same thing. It is a new game and a new step in a different direction. If you can't appreciate that, why should we cater to you? Now, I said that with Destiny. Like, Destiny 2's coming out. And it's changing a lot of the infrastructure around it, right? And this is a game that came out, and it had the biggest budget of any game that ever came out, right? So why in the fuck should Bungie sit there and listen to the arguments, the appeals, the thoughts of people who didn't stick with the game in the first place? Why in the fuck should we even take that into consideration? What they should take into consideration only is, hey, Let's listen to the people who stuck around, these
Yeah.
hardcore fans who we know have plugged in this many hours, because there's a database on Bungie.com where you can know how many hours you played, how many strikes you played, how many story missions you played, and how many raids you played. That's very evident. So someone who has 2 hours, this isn't like Halo, fuck this shit, you need to change it. I guess we shouldn't really give a fuck what you listen or what you have to say. And like, I don't want to argue that everyone doesn't have a voice, right? Everyone should have a valid opinion, but at the same time, if that's not what the fan base is catering to, but the people who are buying it, the people who have clearly bought it, the people who clearly have an interest in it, and say, hey, you know, we want to change, that is the company or the people the company should pay attention to and they should listen to, right? If they're not going to sit there and not buy the game but want to critique it because they have their own moral fucking compass and values and opinions, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but no one cares what you have to think. You had your thoughts, you had your values and opinions, but you're just doing that for the sake that you didn't like it. If you didn't like it and you played it but you still stuck with it, then we may give you a chance. But if you're not really even playing the game now, like, why should we give a fuck what you think?
Yeah, and I was going to say this, stop before I lose it. I think everybody is like entitled to your opinion, like you said, but if you're not also entitled to changes and you just want to be a quote regular Joe who just wants the same thing over and over, well, you need to go back and play like your old stuff that you like so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm open to change. I'm not saying that I'm open to change. That's the same. I will admit that when Destiny originally came out, I have said several times in my videos, I was against it. It was not what I wanted. I was expecting the same game that Bungie made to be reproduced. I didn't appreciate it at first. It took me time to appreciate it. And a lot of people are like, I don't give a fuck. Oh, I don't give a shit. I want the same thing that they made before. Well, that's not what they're making now. And if you don't appreciate what they're making now, they're not going to change it for you. Like, they made this, like, this is the game that they wanted to make. They made it. Why change it for you who never even played it? You just have a judgmental disagreement with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this now. What do you say to somebody who can't keep their expectations about a certain game and keep their expectations in check, then all they want to do is, like you said, nitpick and bitch about this. Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, blah blah blah.
I mean, but the thing is, like, what can you really say to that person, right? I mean, I try to be fair. I try to be honest. I try to just be like, you know, cordial
Play
as
down
much.
the middle, yeah.
Yeah, I try to be cordial as much as I can, but I also try to be real at the same time. Like the same like I told, like, you know, I think I brought up Down Phoenix like too many times in this fucking thing, but like he you know, there was a stream that, you know. And the reason I didn't leave that stream for any other reason, but I literally got really drunk. But Del Phoenix was making, like, I feel like he was just making a lot of arguments with me. Not arguments. I think he was just debating me. I don't think it was like very unfriendly or anything like that. But I just you know, I just couldn't debate the things that he was saying. And I'm like, you know, I'm not. I see your side of it, but like there doesn't need to be too much catalog into it. It's like either you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. There doesn't need to be a ton of argument in between that. Like you can argue the sides of what's good, what's positive, what you don't like. But if you're not even playing the game from the get-go, but you have a lot of criticism about it, it's like I don't think that like you're the person that like that company should really listen to. Like, what's the point of them listening to someone who's probably not even going to play the game, period? Like, they're just
like saying, yeah, your opinion is not justified. Yeah, that's what you're getting at.
And I don't like I said, I don't think anyone's opinion shouldn't be validated just because of their affiliation with the game. Everyone should be listened to. I get it. Everyone has a critique, but when a company comes down to making a game brass tacks, they need to focus on their main market. That's it.
Well, it's like people, you know, who play, like, say, the first 30 minutes or an hour of a game. That, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a review because I play this a little bit. But I think people should wait and play like a whole game, or at least more than 60 to 70% of it, and then do a review. Not play like 10 to 20% of it and then do a review, if you get what I mean.
No, absolutely. Like I started my channel because I wanted to do game reviews. Okay, that was the driving force between me doing YouTube. All right, and I started doing game reviews, and I refuse to fucking review a game unless I started it, even though I played it before, until I started it with all footage to end. With multiplayer footage, whatever footage, I refuse to even start my script on my reviews of my games before I did that. Whether I played it before or didn't play it before, I had to have all that footage. All the knowledge of it, up and down, refresher course, because I played it before, or something new. I would not start a review until I had all that information. But, yes, to your credit, yeah, I completely concur. There's people who will fucking just make a review on a game with the first 5-10 minutes of it. That's all I need. That's all I need. No.
No.
Yeah, there's way more to this shit than maybe you didn't see or, what it turned into.
Yeah.
I mean,
in a way, game reviews are a lot like movie reviews. Oh, I'm going to watch the first 10 to 15 minutes of a movie instead of like the whole 2 hours.
Agreed. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I think it's just the culture that we're in. It is what it is. I don't think it's going to change very much.
Honestly, I think they do it for the attention. They don't care how many views they get. They just want it for the attention.
No, I think everything boils down to views, if you ask me. In the YouTube culture, not someone like me and you who are like really don't really care about
views are relevant to me.
Right, and me too. And I think that's where me and you have that common ground. But I think for a lot of people who are, their income is based off of what they can do and don't do in their life, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I was
they'll fabricate a little bit of
living,
this.
I would care, but I'm not.
Yeah, and they're fabricating a few things here and there to make it more interesting or disinteresting, just because, and.
Well, it's like the Retro Bro said in his podcast the other day. Reviewers get stuff, and he said it like okay, let's just say Nintendo. Okay, you say positive. Okay, well, what do I get out if you're going to give me such and such thing to review? What is you scratch my back, I scratch your thing, as he called it.
Yeah. And Tyler Stevenson is like something like a conversation that we had, but it's like Ian, Pat. I guess he's talking about Pat the NES Punk, and Ian. I don't even know who the fuck Ian is. Talking about Batman versus Superman. They never saw it, and exactly. But they probably did see it, and I think sometimes like a lot of critics don't even have a negative opinion about something. They just feel like they have to have a negative opinion about something for it to be valid. Because nowadays, negative sells. Negative. Yeah. You don't see like, oh, I really love this movie. This is the best thing I've ever seen. People are like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, click. No, that's too positive for me, sir. I need something that breaks this movie down and makes it a piece of shit. I need the most negative points out of this video, out of this video game. I need to know what the bad is. Yeah. So I guess in my opinion, like this culture that we live in the humanity world that we live in, we don't see that nowadays. You don't get to see like, oh, this was so great, and the good overlooks the bad. You always get the bad that overlooks the good. Yeah. And that's just the world that we live in, I think, at this point. And like I do that, myself included. I made my Spider-Man review. I pointed out all the negative stuff about it, but like that was not fabricated. Like I literally was upset with that movie, and before I even made that video, I talked to my wife about it. I talked to people that I work with about it. Like I was genuinely upset with that fucking movie. Period. But something like Batman and Superman, I guess when we were talking about it, maybe I nitpicked a little bit more. But I guess it's kind of instilled in our brains now. Same with like you are, maybe not you. Yeah. I can't speak for you. I don't, but I guess I can only speak for myself that like there are certain things where I guess I'll nitpick a little bit more and I'll try to find the negative stuff in it because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this: Are you worried for the upcoming Justice League movie? I'm a little bit worried, but I have my expectations in check.
I fucking just karate chopped my headphones and my headphones came out. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. No. Not really, because my thing is with the whole Justice League shit is like I have never been a huge fan of it, so I'm kind of open into interpretation. I'm a huge Batman fan, so if that's done wrong, there's gonna be riots in the street for me.
Yeah.
But
I guarantee it's probably gonna be pretty close to, like you said, with the cartoons of the original Justice League. They're gonna carry Batman around like, no,
Batman better not, because I swear, I tell you right now, I'm gonna have problems with it. Look, I understand Batman is very underpowered. I think we all know that. But the same token, it's like, at least let him have his dignity, okay?
And I just have a feeling it's gonna be like the original Justice League cartoon or something like very similar to it. I just have this feeling, man.
Yeah, you could be right, and you're actually probably really right. But I mean, if that's the route they want to go with it,
we won't know till we see it. So, but
and like
it's called the gut instinct,
right? And the Retro Bro was like, talking about how the Flash was kind of made like, he didn't say comical, he said like making stupid light of, or the character is made like just stupid, not being comical. But I mean, like the Flash to me, I remember it in the cartoon, and look, they're not going to try to base it off the comic book. I don't think they're going to try to base it more off the more relevant cartoon series, because that's what's going to catch more people's eyes, right? And we all know the Flash. I think you know the Flash. I know the Flash.
Yeah.
There's 3 innovations of the Flash at this point, and for the Flash to not be portrayed as a very horny, hot dog slurping down, chili dog dude like Sonic the Hedgehog, talking about eating, making light of other people, joking and talking shit. Like, that's kind of his character. But I get it where the Retro Bro's coming from. Like, stupid and comical are 2 different fucking places. And that's where I felt like the Spider-Man movie was, because Spider-Man is not like, he is comical. He talks shit, but he talks shit in like the ooh realm, like, oh no you didn't, like, but in this thing it's like he's talking shit like, oh gee whiz, I guess I'm just a fuck up and I'm so stupid, and what the fuck am I doing? Why am I even Spider-Man? Fuck off. Like, don't do that to Spider-Man. He's a smart-witted, very smart, rebuttaled type of fucking mental. I'm talking about in the talking shit type realm.
I'll let you know what my thoughts are once the movie comes to Redbox, but I'm already scared to watch it.
Man, you're gonna be look. You might like it. I'm not gonna say that you wouldn't. It's just it's very disappointing to see Spider-Man portrayed in the light that he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, already like I said, watching your video, I'm already worried. I'm worried that after I watch it, I'm probably gonna be really, like you, I'm going to be pissed off. It's like you said with Batman and Justice League. Why do that to him? Why make it's like if they made a new Superman movie. Yeah, Superman, strong and shit, but then they made him like a, weak ass. That would piss you off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, especially if that character is your favorite character.
Yeah.
And to me, someone left a comment on that video to me, which made a lot of sense. And it said that Spider-Man is like Marvel's Batman. I mean, I can kind of see the comparison, connection there.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting at is, no, he's not dark and brooding and blah blah. But what I'm saying is, he is like that franchise is like kind of biggest character, right? Mm-hmm. And for him to be portrayed as just a complete moronic fool who has nothing to bring except for just stupid jokes and have to be coached the entire time. Like, no. I'm not subscribing to that shit, and I'm not down for that. And if that's the way you guys want to approach it, like, I'm out. I'm done. And I'm not going to say the Marvel movies have not been greatly done, because I think they have been.
Yeah.
But that has done a curveball for me. Like, it literally had just completely just not made me give a fuck.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I even have this like a Doctor Strange comic book that's like this thick. It's like Doctor Strange meets Spider-Man or some shit. It's like this fucking thick.
Yeah.
And
I remember the cartoon from back in the day. He made an appearance in the Spider-Man animated series along with other Marvel characters, which is cool.
yeah, Doctor Strange is all right, man. I got nothing against him, but he's not like in my top 10 in any way, shape, or form. He's just not. He's just not a character for me. I'm not saying he is for someone else,
but he's cool for what he is. Yeah,
right. I appreciate Doctor Strange, but he's just not a character for me. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate every character in the Marvel universe, DC universe. And I haven't watched the movie, and I'll be honest, because I'm just not a huge fan of him.
I wasn't either, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, other than the cartoons, I didn't watch much of like Doctor Strange related stuff. And like you, I'm more interested in the upcoming Venom movie in 2018. I'm surprised there hasn't been like much like info leaked about that.
I think it's going to be terrible, man.
Is the story.
It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible because it's made by Sony. There's going to be no Marvel's Capcom or Marvel's. I keep saying that fucking shit. There's going to be no Marvel universe in that shit. It's a Sony picture. It's going to be straight Venom focused. Carnage might be introduced. Potentially, I assume that's where they're going. Because Venom ended up being a good guy, right?
He helped Spider-Man beat Carnage.
Yeah, so Venom was a very bad guy for a long time.
Yeah, at first, yeah.
Yeah, he ended up being a hero. Anti-hero, if that's what you want to call him. But no, Venom ended up being a hero. So I think that's the route they're going to go with it. But they better at least have Spider-Man somewhere in this fucking thing.
Because of him that Venom became who he was.
And the symbiote suit, like that race is actually a very peaceful race. It was just like that one symbiote that actually happened to go down to Earth. Like it just kind of happened to be the bad seed of the black sheep of the symbiote family. But no, man, I mean, I literally will say that I'm not interested in this Venom movie at all because I just know the history and and for them to I don't even think they're going to have a Spider-Man in it. Maybe like a little kid, hey, it's your neighborhood friendly Spider-Man, just zoom by, fuck off.
Maybe there'll be like a small cameo or something. Yeah, it's like you said. I think that's what they're going to do, but I'll wait and see till we see like maybe a teaser trailer at least or something. Of course, that won't be for a long ass time though.
Yeah, and I really do hate to judge a book by its cover, but just knowing Sony's like, all right, look, I will be the first to admit Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Tobey Maguire, I think were excellent. I think they were great fucking Spider-Man movies. The third one, I didn't hate it. Very questionable things done. But I still think it was a good movie. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 wasn't feeling them, man. Wasn't feeling them.
I'm kind of the same way with the cartoons. I love the old 90s stuff, but the newer Spider-Man, the modern Spider-Man cartoons, no.
Yeah, it's just I look, I'm a Spider-Man fan in every way, shape, or fashion, so the Amazing Spider-Man, I know that's a whole different catalog of shit. I get it. But, I think his name is Andrew Garfield, the guy who played Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. That's his name, right? Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think he did a really decent job. I'm not going to say that he didn't, but it was just like, I'm sorry. No matter how many times you guys want to recapture it, and you think that it's stupid, but the Tobey Maguire movies with Spider-Man were pretty fucking spot on. They were really good. They were really good Spider-Man movies. And how many times you want to redo it, try to recapture it, try to revamp it. That was a very solid formula that clearly worked because years now we're still comparing the new Spider-Man movies to those movies.
To the old ones.
And the old ones are kind of outweighing the new ones, right? And then, I don't want to say like, oh, we're all just old and stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that in any way, shape, or fashion that you put up a Spider-Man, the original one, versus this one, I think the original beats it in every aspect of the action, the storytelling, the coming tale of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, the love story, Ben fucking being shot. Like, you don't even get that in this, and you don't have to, but it just, I think in every aspect of that movie was just superior in every way, shape, or form.
Well, let me ask you this on the subject of remakes. Well, let me ask this real quick. In regards to the new 2018 Batman movie with Ben Affleck, do we know if that's another reboot, or is it gonna just tie into the Justice League movie?
You're talking about so I know Ben Affleck was working on one, so that's legitimately happening.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I was just asking because I don't know if there's been like a lot of like info like about it. As far as I know, I haven't heard much.
I heard that Ben Affleck was like seriously doing a standalone Batman movie, like just like him as the director, the actor, or whatever. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know if that upcoming movie was going to be like another reboot, or is it just going to be, or if it's going to tie into the Justice League movie in some way in the end.
Well, I think at this point it'd have to, because I don't think any company is going to greenlight like, oh yeah, Ben Affleck, yeah, everyone loved you before. Let's go ahead and let you just make your own standalone Batman movie with all this whole Justice League shit going on.
Yeah,
people would love to see
that's
that.
Why they're having all these separate movies. Like, yeah, we haven't seen a Wonder Woman yet. We're waiting for that to come to Redbox. But yeah, to get back to the question I was about to ask, in regards to reboots, like you as a fan, like after like how many reboots, how do you say like just enough is enough? I don't want any more reboots. I want like something different. Because I think what is Batman? I think what are we up to? Let's see. Was it 2 now reboots? 2?
Right, but I think when it comes to a reboot, right? If it's done right and it's done very well, it will be years before you even see anyone try to attempt that, right?
Yeah, reimagine it. Yeah.
Reimagine it, re-envision it, because I think with Christopher Nolan's Batman, there'll be years before we see someone try to reattempt that, because they've got a strong game to go up against, right? Maybe not the original Batman Begins and not the Dark Knight Rises, but the Dark Knight with fucking what's his name? It's the Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. I'm sorry, but that's a bona fide classic, guys. Can't top it. Can't beat it. Can't do it, man. And if you can, it's gonna be a while before you can do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you, man. It's a classic.
Yeah, it's just like how Mark Hamill is always like the best as far as his cartoon counterpart.
Mark Hamill is the goddamn god of Jokers. And I've said that before, man. Mark Hamill is a fucking genius at being the Joker, man. And
Troy Baker is pretty good. I've heard some of his work. He's pretty good.
But he mimics Mark Hamill, though.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do what Mark Hamill does. And I'm not going to say he's bad, but what I'm saying is he's kind of, taking the mold and going with it. He didn't reinvent that character like Mark Hamill did.
I think he needs to be his own thing, not copy of others, like you said.
Right. No, and going forward, like something like Spider-Man, how many reboots does it take where you say that's enough? Probably never, because, when you're a fan, you're a fan, right?
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't really matter how many incarnations of that type of thing come out. You're going to continue to watch it, bro. It doesn't really matter. It could be good, bad, or ugly, but if you're a fan, like I am, I'm going to stick with it. I'll have my opinions about it. I'll be upset afterwards, but I have not once. This actually is the first Spider-Man movie I didn't see day one. I have seen every Spider-Man movie day one. This Spider-Man movie, I saw day two. This is the first time I didn't see a movie of Spider-Man the first day it opened. It took me the second day. It came out on the 7th. I went on the 8th. So I'm a fan. Well, I'm a fucking fan. So I can't argue it. Like it doesn't matter how good or bad or ugly. I guess if the question you're asking me, if you're a fan, you'll sit through it, man. You'll do it. You have that devocation or whatever you want to call it. Like that. That's what you have, and you'll do dedication. Like you'll do it, man. Will there be that drawing line where you'll say like that's enough? And that's you as a fan. You have to decide that answer.
Yeah. Well, I think they are going to be certain like series. Like a lot of people praise the original MMPR movie, but I've heard like the reboot that came out recently got like so much backlash. I think it's going to be a while before we see another reboot, if at all. It's going to be another 10, 20 years before we see another MMPR reboot.
What movie again?
The Power Ranger reboot that came out this year. Because I mean, I heard it got like so much like backlash, like from critics and just diehard fans in general.
Retro Bro told me it was actually really good.
Yeah, but Walter Jones and David Yost, who were here in Mississippi for this year's con, said they both kind of liked it, but I've heard it like it's got like just so much like backlash, I think, for being probably too different, or I think people like who are our age who were just like you said had their nostalgia pants on too tight, and they praise the original. Nothing's ever gonna top this movie. Nothing can be better. I mean, I'm slightly tempted to watch it when it's while it's currently at Redbox, but I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you the fucking first thing about the Power Rangers, man. That was not my cup of tea, man. I got nothing for it. It just I never watched it, never paid attention to it. It just wasn't my thing, man.
Yeah, but let me ask you kind of this way, like, are there any like movie series that you know of that like did good and all of a sudden they tried the whole reboot formula and then it just backfired, like
Tyler Stevens in front of my chair too, man. Fuck you guys, man. I'm gonna get a new chair like tomorrow. I'm going to go to Goodwill tomorrow and just hunt down a fucking office chair. Or you know what I'm gonna do? You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to go buy some WD-40. I'm just gonna spray this fucker down from top to bottom.
like I think it's gonna be a while before we see another Street Fighter movie. Like the original one, I love, even though it's freaking bad. But
talking about with Van Damme.
Yeah, but the sequel, I don't know if you watched it. It was the actress who played I don't know if you watched Smallville. So see if I'm pronouncing her name. Kristen Curick, or however you pronounce her name. Yeah, it was a Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, and man, it got so much backlash, dude.
Yeah, I watched the one with Van Damme. I mean, I didn't hate it back then, but also there's my fucking chair.
I mean, it's one of those movies that's bad, but you just love it.
I didn't love it, but I would say that like I was just blind to the fact that movies could be bad in that era.
Yeah.
That was like the time where like I didn't live in the city I live in now. I live like a couple miles away. I live in this very small town that has very small, like, you know, video rental stores. This is like before the internet, man. And
Yeah.
like, literally, you would just like go in there and you would pick a movie based off of the box art that was on
Yeah.
the wall, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
Street Fighter? I love fucking Street Fighter. Put that shit in the basket. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's stop by Subway and pick up a ham and cheese sandwich. And yeah, it was fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible.
And the only reason they made it is because like the video game was like crazy popular at the time, just like Mortal Kombat.
And I get it, and I understand it now. But hold on, before that, Mortal Kombat's movie credit, man, that was a good fucking movie. I don't care who many people want to argue it, man. The original Mortal Kombat movie, as cheesy as you want to call it, that was pretty fucking decent. Okay, Street Fighter, on the other hand, in retrospect now, it's pretty fucking terrible. Pretty fucking terrible. Now,
Yeah, it is.
I will
It's bad.
I will say that like I will say that like when I watched it, I was like, okay, Street Fighter on the main screen, I'm cool with it. That works for me. I'm not mad at it. Growing up, thinking about it, yeah, it's pretty fucking terrible. But those were, like I said, I think we were talking about this topic that now you're kind of influenced at things from those ages and they didn't have the right direction and they're stupid and ridiculous and et cetera, and go have you. Oh my god, I didn't realize this fucking light was dangling from my green screen over here.
But at least it's not as bad as the Super Mario Brothers movie. Ugh.
Oh fuck. All right. Now that immediately I remember as a child, still saying, this is fucking retarded. Okay,
It's bad.
this is the most. I was like, where the fuck is Yoshi? Why are these motherfuckers called Goombas? These are not fucking Goombas. Mario and Luigi Mario are not. It does not compute. And fuck you, whoever has made this fucking movie, and whoever think that they can just go into a different dimension and we're all just supposed to just accept this logic and this theory. I hope you get cancer. This is ridiculous.
And you wonder why Nintendo stayed away movies for years, but even the cartoons were cheesy. I don't know if you remember the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
It's Mario Brothers and Plumbers a name. Yeah, that was the shit though, man. I go front, man. I remember my kids still watch that shit, man. It's Mario Brothers and Plumbers a game. How's this shit? I could probably recite the whole fucking thing if I wasn't drunk, but.
Even the Legend of Zelda cartoon was it was so cheesy.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a kid, I liked him. I loved him. I loved him. They had
to watch them on Netflix, I believe.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, but they had too many fucking sound bites, man. It was like Mario scratching his lips, like do it. And I'm like, dude, like you don't need this many sound bites. Like I swear to God, if Luigi like fucking farted, it was like, do it. It's like every fucking thing in that show had a sound bite for it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we were kids at the time. We didn't care.
I loved it, man. I'm not gonna front. I loved it, man. That was good shit, man. I was a Mario fan. I can't ignore it. And that was right around the time Super Mario World came out, right?
Yeah, and there's also a series, cartoon series based on that as well. It has its own separate thing.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. The one you're talking about was like when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out.
Came out, yeah. Because Mario World has its own separate series.
Yeah, I remember both of them. But nah, I actually remember it more vividly the more with the Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario World one. The one with the Super Mario Bros. 3, like the wrestler guy. I forgot what his fucking name is. Yeah, that was fucking, but it was still epic. Like even though, I watch it today, like when it comes on, I start like rapping the song, and my kids are like, "How do you know all these words?" I'm like, "I was a kid too once, guys."
That's what kids of the generation we don't get. We were young too once.
Yeah. Hey man, bro, for real, man. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream, call it a night, man. It's like 4:30 in the morning where I'm at. I'm super fucking tired.
Oh yeah, I just saw the time. Man, I'm like you just start chatting away. We don't keep track of the time.
Yeah, I'm about to go make my ass something to eat and take my ass to bed. Hey man, but for real, man, it's been a pleasure. It's been fucking great fucking conversations. Can't wait to do it again, man. And anything to say before we go ahead and dead this?
Well, I can't really think of anything now, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching you playing Destiny 2 in a couple of weeks. But yeah, if you want to, a couple months from now. But yeah, if you want to have a stream this Friday, since Retro Bro's not doing anything, just give me a heads up and we'll do something.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you you weren't into Destiny? You're not planning on getting Destiny 2, right?
I might, maybe. But
Well,
I gotta pay for the online thing though.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, he's getting it. He told me he's getting it on PS4. I'm getting it on PS4. So expect some more of us just being, dads playing video games and conversating. But no, he's getting it. I'm getting it. So I'm like, fuck it, man. I haven't expressed to him or vice versa like how we plan to tackle that game. But we're
Yeah.
definitely going to be playing it together when it comes out for
Me-
quite some time.
the retro road might find this funny. Maybe we should call the stream. I know he likes to call it the retro road show, but maybe call it Let me see. Uh, uh, I can't even think of the right words here. Just maybe say stream of dads, if that makes sense.
I was thinking about doing like Dads of Destiny or some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
The Dads of
That's even
Destiny.
better.
The Dads of Destiny. But yeah, man, it sounds like just if you guys are interested in the future, man. September 8th, I'm locked down to that game for quite some time. I've been playing it.
You should send that comment to Retro Bro after you get off. He'll probably laugh at that.
It might make a whole channel just exclusive to that. I might just hit him up and see what his thoughts are about it. But all right, man, let me go get my ass something to eat, man. Take my ass to bed, man. I'm fucking tired as shit. Babe, once again, man, it's been a fucking pleasure. Once again, I really appreciate you coming on, just hanging out, man. It's always a blast when you're on, bro.
Oh yeah, anytime.
All right, man. Anyway, we're out of here, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
All right. Later, YouTube.